Hey everyone, welcome to a very, very special edition, as they say, of Sunday Night Geekery. So we've got a great panel here tonight. Some of the usual crowd and a new special guest. We're welcome to the panel for the first time. So we'll start with saying hi to Retro Nerd Girl. So thank you for being here.
Hey.
Welcome.
So she's
Hello,
got a
everyone.
fantastic channel that everyone should, if you're not sub to, you better sub to by the end of the night. And
I'm gonna do
check
that
out her
now while
stuff.
you talk.
Yeah, it's in the link below. It should be. And of course, we've got the dad man who walking. Congratulations on 100 subs, and he just finished a 24-hour stream.
Oh, wow.
That's why he
Congrats.
looks like the way he looks. So normally he's a much friendlier looking guy.
Oh yeah, he catches up with you later. But hey, Mark, thank you.
Yep. Thank you for being here. I know you probably can't make it the whole show, but you have a very valid excuse. Like I can't believe you're actually walking or actually sitting at the desk and not sleeping. So
oh yes, I actually functioned. Functioning today. But you know what? I could not miss when I saw 500. Oh man, there's no way to miss a party like this.
Thank you.
Yep. Congratulations.
And I hope you're at a desk and not on like a couch or something. Because if you do start to snore, we will, we'll put the snore cam on. But just kidding. Congratulations.
Thank you, and same to you, Mark. Thank you,
Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Yep. Thank you, Lisa. Yep. And of course, we've got the ever awesome Raquel Briggs here.
Oh my goodness, thank you. It's nice to see everyone. And
we indeed.
Yep. So thank you. Yep. And JT Kirk is here. So I'm going to hopefully
JT Kirk.
Hail JT.
Hopefully be able to manage this chat tonight, like you guys do so well in Saturday Night Star Trek. You never miss anyone. So good. And Lisa just subbed to Retro Nerd Girl. Awesome.
Hey, Lisa.
Thank you.
Lisa is the best, and she makes
Lisa's
a mean
great.
spaghetti and garlic toast. Woohoo!
So big night. I was just checking. I was at 50 subs a year ago. So I guess if I do 50, the last one of these I did was at 50 subs, and a bunch of you guys are here, and that over a year ago. So now we're at 500. So I guess maybe I'll do a 5,000 sub celebration next year. No, just kidding. But
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
but no, it's in all seriousness, it's been a lot of fun. And as I was chatting before the show, sometimes you get hooked up in all these numbers and analytics, but the most important thing is making friends and meeting people and having a good time. And if my view is, if you're not having a good time doing this, then don't do it. Don't set out to get a zillion subs, although that's not a bad benefit. But and shout out to Cloudburn Times, aka Mike, for kind of being the center of our circle. And that's how I first met everyone, was through watching his show a few years ago. And like, my kids were joking, like, why does he have your avatar, Dad? Because everywhere I go, I always had the thing as an avatar. It's my favorite character. And I'm like, oh, this is like hanging out in my old comic book shop, which unfortunately closed down well, now it's like 4 or 5 years ago now. And you always missed hanging out with the geeks and the nerds in the shop and talking how Thanos could win or lose, or whatever topic, could Wolverine, how much beer could Wolverine drink, before he pass out, silly stuff like
Important stuff,
yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, and meet everyone. I think that's the most important thing. So thank you, Gapped After Dark, thank you very much. Yep, it says hi to everyone. Yep.
Retro Nerd Girl, if I can interrupt for just a second. I don't get notifications on any of my subscriptions, although I just subscribed to you. So if you could get Clobby or Mark to send me notifications, because I'm looking at your stuff here and like Planet of the Apes and the Beastmaster and action movie star. You are like we're on the same page already.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
She's for
I,
real.
I want to.
She's for real. That's why I like her.
That's
She's for
really
real.
Oh,
cool.
you
Yeah.
guys
Oh, yeah.
are so nice to me.
However, if you don't like The Princess Bride, we cannot be
Fired.
friends.
Oh,
You're fired.
don't
What's the
worry. I
Princess
love
Bride?
it.
There's no way anyone could not like the Princess Bride. You know,
I know
you know what
someone.
So good.
Sorry.
I have
Don't
a
challenge
cousin.
me.
I have a cousin.
Inconceivable. 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 You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Walked right into that one.
Oh, yeah.
The
All
man
right.
with
Somebody
two
said-
first names, Warren Sean Warren.
Yeah.
Inconceivable. Quark.
Oh,
Never going
Zeki.
against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
See, Raquel, you don't have any
Zeki?
context for this.
Pardon?
You don't have any context. You haven't seen the movie, so I
No,
feel
I
bad,
have
but-
not. I have not
Yeah.
watched The Princess Bride.
I haven't
What
either.
about-
So
I've
What if
seen
I
the
gave-
clip 100
what if-
times.
What if I gave you my word as a Spaniard?
Yeah.
No good. I've known
No.
too many Spaniards.
No too many things.
hey, Mark, can I say something real quick?
Of course, yeah. Go ahead.
Congrats on your 500 and like you said, how you've grown and all that stuff. But I tell you what, dude, you're awesome. And you know what? You're one of the really cool guys out there because you really put a lot of other people before yourself, and you're really a cool dude helping everybody else. And that's rare to see these days. And you're a genuine guy, and you're just a big help to everybody around you. And thank you. And that can't be understated. I know it's hard to teach our own horn, but you really go to help
I
others
second
around
that.
you. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to make
yeah.
sure that got said because that's awesome.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah, and dittos too. You know, you're a great guy, and we love hanging out with you and helping. You know, if a friend needs help or needs, you know, you shouldn't ask twice. And I guess maybe that's part of my Boy Scout upbringing, or being a Scoutmaster. You always want to. I always tell my scouts, pretend that person that's on the line there is either your mom or your dad or relative. If if you're thinking about if someone needs help, pretend that stranger is someone and then think, what would you do if that was your mom there, your grandmother, or and think of it that way. If it's the old cliched, helping the old person cross the street, but it's that's something that's been instilled in me, I guess through scouting as a kid, and maybe somewhat just my friends growing up. If we're at someone else's house, you always if the dad or mom was doing something, you say, "Oh, can I help Mrs. Smith?" or whatever, so but I appreciate that, and that's really nice of you to say, Dad, man. And yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
You look lovely today, Mrs. Cleaver. That's all I heard.
that's all you heard. Yeah. Well, while we have Retro Nerd Girl as our special new guest, but yeah, how did you get into all this nerd stuff? I mean, I love telling the story of how I got into geek and nerd and sci-fi, and what was something you always loved, or did you just someday someone introduced you to this stuff, or what's your story with liking this crazy stuff?
I was born a geek. Yes. I always liked sci-fi and kung fu and like all kinds of things that other people that didn't really like around me that were my age. And my mom was a huge influence on the movies.
Okay.
Because she loved movies, and that was something we connected with a lot. And so I have a lot of memories of sharing special times with her. And I told this before to someone else, but there were times where I was mad at my mom, once I became an adult. And I kind of wish that my life was a lot different, like I had more more privilege, I guess. And now that I'm older, I kind of look back on it all, and I realize, oh my God, she gave me so much by introducing me to what she could introduce me to, which was movies and culture. And like she introduced me to opera and all sorts of wonderful things. She taught me to appreciate the theater and books, and so yeah, I was different, and that was mainly because I came from a family. My mom was kind of she was the original retro nerd girl, if you will. So
So
I
you're
got
you're
lucky.
junior or number two. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I think I got lucky. I was born into it.
That's a great
That's
story. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good
Thank
parenting.
you. Yeah, I think so. I think I got snagged really young too, with a lot of the movies that I like. I watch them on late night television, and that really kind of shaped my ability to have some hope and happiness. Because sometimes when you're a kid and I got bullied a lot, and so those movies, they really made me feel like there was a whole other world out there. Like movies like Frankenstein and Dracula from the 1930s, and just just things, those old movies, those Sword and Sandal, um, Sinbad movies, they just filled me with so much joy and happiness and wonder. So it came in at the right time when I needed it.
That's
You are
amazing
gonna
to
fit
hear.
Excellent.
Yeah,
in. You're gonna fit right in around here.
Well, I
yeah, because
Yeah.
love this channel, so, whenever I could catch it live, I definitely, try to make time for it.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, because a lot of the quote unquote younger kids, or unless they've got someone pointing those old movies out, or my dad took me to see Journey to the Moon. I think, which is one of the. I was looking through your videos, and I'll share the screen in a second that you had gone through, because it's a fun list
Oh,
just to talk, briefly touch on a few of them. But he took me to Thief of Baghdad. Remember, like the library sometimes
ooh.
would have old movies. So, and movies that he loved as a kid, or we'd always talk about the movie serials, which you couldn't really
Oh,
watch. But that's
The
why I
yeah.
Steve,
loved
the Steve Reeves Thief of Baghdad.
Oh,
the
I believe
Sabu.
that's oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, I think the I'm trying to remember the actors, but it was in the 40s, I think.
Oh,
40s or
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
A little
Because
bit.
there
Okay.
was one done in the 1920s that was actually really
Yes.
good as
Yeah.
well, and they had, um
Tyrone Power,
okay,
maybe.
well, maybe I'm further back than that. That one
No.
was,
John Barrymore, one of those.
I forgot the actor who played, the part, but there was, a flying carpet, and for the
yeah.
20s, it was like sort of, like a marvel, to see it. So, that was a pretty good movie.
Oh, that blew me away as a kid, this young kid, to see that. So
Yeah, it was
that was
really,
an amazing.
yeah, really artistic and just beautiful.
So I think
Excellent.
well, this is the version, the 1940 version. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good one as well.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's the one I remember seeing with my
That is
dad. Yeah.
that might be Harryhausen or,
No, before
uh,
him,
oh,
it was
who's
40.
Joseph. Oh, let's see, which one is this? Now, I should.
Josephine Levine.
That's the Steve Reeves one.
Levine.
Yeah, it's the Steve Reeves one.
Is
Yeah,
it
so if I
really?
do
There you go.
1940,
Oh,
they'll show
You
the
can tell by the
pictures from the
muscles.
1940 one. Yeah, this one here. Yep,
oh, that was so
Oh
good.
wow.
with Sabu. Yep, see Sabu.
Sabu,
If
right,
I'm,
right, right. Who
if I'm
also
pronouncing the
played?
name correctly.
He was also in the Jungle Book, like early black and white Jungle Book. Yeah.
But that was one of the movies that stuck with me, that my dad, took me to see, at the library. They had like a free, obviously a free showing. He said, let's get tickets and go see it. And it was probably one of his favorite movies as a kid, with the flying carpet, and
Oh, man.
just some amazing effects. And they to me, they look, I think it still holds up pretty well. I mean, obviously, uh, it's some people might think it's dated, but it was just with the genie there. I just remember that scene with the genie, and it really really made an impression. Yep, Genie needs to get his nails clipped there, but or maybe he
Oh,
did. Maybe a different nail clipper, but those nails look scary. Yeah,
oh, yeah, they're really gnarly.
yeah, yeah. So here we just had your channel up, so we were
Oh,
talking before. Yeah, the day the Earth stood still. was one of your earlier reviews, and that's the all-time great sci-fi movies. And in our group or quote unquote clique, that's one of the like what must-watch movies. But today I'm wondering how popular that movie is. We won't mention the remake too much. That
Yeah.
that first version. So what that was a movie like your mom said, "Oh, you should watch this," or
Yeah, this is one of my mom's favorites, science fiction movies, from her day, actually. So it's like kind of, um, she loved this, and so she shared that with me for sure.
Great. Hey, your old toys, how's it going? And sorry if I'm missing the chat. And Clobberin Times, if you see any
Sure. I'll watch
chats to put up, feel free.
Brian Hepburn's here.
Yep.
Gotcha. Hey, your old toys. What's up?
How's it
Hey, your
going?
Muslim uncle. What's up, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through
Douglas
this list.
Fairbanks, yes, he's the one that
Douglas
was in,
Fairbanks.
and that was
Good.
in the Thief of Baghdad that I really enjoy that one, the black and white one. He's doing his own stunts, and it's incredible.
He's in great shape. Yeah. So here's one. I like Masters of the Universe, 87. I do
yeah.
like that movie. I thought that was a good,
You do,
good
really?
movie. Yeah, I do like. Yeah, so I'm just
messing with you.
yeah, I know you're messing with me. But
Everybody
let's
makes fun.
So like some of these.
It's Frank Langella's favorite movie that he's ever done.
Yeah.
And he was in Frost Nixon. He was the first.
His favorite.
Yeah, he was the first sexy Dracula. He played, as you guys know, in one movie.
Dracula 79. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He played
That
Perry
was
White
he was
once.
fabulous.
Did for me the best Sherlock Holmes ever. And I saw an interview with him, and he said his favorite role was Skeletor.
Skeletor, yeah, he must have had a lot of fun playing that.
And he hates it. He hates that his other serious, like classically trained actors, or no, he loves it that that his friends who are seriously like classically trained actors make fun of him for it. And he actually loves that. So there you go.
Oh,
that's
weird.
hysterical. Yeah. So Raquel's been doing a segment on our Thursday night clubhouse, and she's been watching a lot of old classic movies. Yeah, so some of them are on this list. So I don't know if she did Catwoman on the Moon yet, but let's see as we scroll.
Such a fun movie. So it's so cheeky and yet fun. I mean, none of the science is realistic at all. They had it all wrong, but it's just about the fun of it.
The fun, yeah.
Oh my God, you have my favorite movie on here too.
Which one is that?
Princess Bride is number 2. My favorite movie is Casablanca.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, I don't.
Oh wait, no, actually, we think I don't know why, because when I hover, maybe that's in your intro. That's in your intro.
It's part of the story about.
It's in the intro, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's part of the story because the main actor in that movie, the Angry Red Planet, was sort of the fake Humphrey Bogart. So since at the time people wanted to see Humphrey Bogart, they would get this actor to play the role.
Because it kind of looked like Humphrey Bogart,
yeah, and sound like him too. And,
that's awesome.
So yeah, that's why that picture shows up.
Well, and Fire and Ice is one of your favorites.
Anyway.
We can be friends anyway.
Well, it's on my list to review.
But you've seen it?
Yes, I have.
Good.
It's an excellent movie. It is definitely on my list to totally dissect and praise endlessly.
Hey, Matthew Pounder, how's it going?
Hey. Go ahead, Matthew.
So we've got Fire and Ice that Nick Wise and I on Toxic Tuesday reviewed that one
a couple weeks back.
Yep. Oh, American Werewolf in London, probably some of the best practical effects ever with that
transformation
werewolf transformation.
Incredible.
Yeah. And Steve, Maddy's daddy, what are you drinking tonight?
I feel like zero sugar Dr. Pepper with extra vitamin C for the no.
So what's the tie-in to American Werewolf in London?
Yeah, David.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
No, I'm a pepper. You're a pepper.
Right, the same guy.
David Naughton.
Right.
David Naughton.
James Naughton.
James
Well, and do you know the tie-in from James Naughton to Planet of the Apes?
No.
His big brother David Naughton was on the Planet of the Apes TV series along with Ron
Oh,
Hopper and
Oh,
Maddy.
wow.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
There's some
Never
really
played
serious
nerd.
trivia going on here.
Never
Yeah.
play nerd trivia against Clobby. He
I love
will
that show.
destroy everybody.
Oh no, I'm not that good, believe me, but I love that
Yes,
show.
you are. Yes, you are,
Oh,
Clobby.
those were some good ones.
Mark,
He
Jamie,
popped in there.
coming through. Yeah.
Hail
Thank you,
J-Man.
J-Man. Thank you so much. Yeah,
J-Man, buddy,
appreciate it.
what's
Yep.
up?
Thanks for stopping
All
by
right.
and saying hi. And yep, appreciate that. Yep.
Checking in from Earth B.
Yeah, Earth Day. Yep.
For American Werewolf in London, I briefly studied how to do practical effects like that. It was before CG, and to have the nose come out, there was a guy with a plunger with liquid, and he did the plunger thing, and it filled his nose up with air and made it expand. They were very creative in those days.
Oh,
It
Yeah,
had to
they're-
be right because it's the only way to do it. Yeah.
yeah.
And so Metropolis, of course, is one of the classic all-time movies. So here, let me
Oh,
show one of my
yeah.
favorite action figures.
Ooh.
So this was I think San Diego
Wow.
Comic-Con. My friend was in San Diego. You know, when you can look up on a website and see, what, different offerings are, what's special, or so it was a con exclusive. But Maria, the first 3PO, right?
Yes.
So
Wow, that is so cool.
so that's hanging behind me all the time. That's one of my favorite. I guess there's a coin there, and but it's a really cool figure to have. Let's see the back here. So
Nice.
shout out to my friend Chris who brought this back for me. Tough to read, I'm sure, but and one of the all-time great movies, and it's been redone with it's a silent film for those of you out here who haven't seen it. But was a newer version. I'm forgetting the name of it with more modern soundtrack and just really amazing.
Oh yeah,
Great
the
story.
Morodo version.
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Giorgio Moroder.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I think they just did another version. I think they found some lost footage a few years ago.
They
I'm trying to
did.
remember.
They did find some lost footage, and they put it all together. But they also found some original old music that was actually used on set. They'd actually play music on set as they were recording
To
the
kind of help
scenes.
the actors, probably.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Yep.
so they found some of those recordings and added it to a much updated version. So there's an updated version somewhere out there.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'd heard something about it. Yeah. So yeah, or so Steven saying that's why hard to hassle. So yeah, nice figure. It's the inspiration for 3PO. Yep.
Oh,
So
she's beautiful.
I've
Yeah,
often
yeah.
said Mark had a nice figure.
I got many nice figures. Yeah. And James Bond, we got James Bond here, View to a Kill. This is fun to just look
Yes.
through and just
Oh, boy.
inspire some conversation. So
I'm gonna watch all these.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I tried to pick. There's a couple of them that I was experimenting with, but I tried on the most part to pick films that I really, really loved. So a lot of them are just some of my favorite films ever.
What is your if you had to pick one, the old stranded on an island
Yeah.
Ooh,
with the DVD player and a black power source, what would be your and Raquel, same question to you after retro answers.
just one movie.
Yeah, if you had to have just one.
Oh
Oh,
boy,
that's tough. Wow. One?
that is
Mhm.
tough. Yeah.
You only have a 50 megabyte memory stick? Don't you have like a 10 gigabyte these days? Just
Well,
kidding.
okay, she's only stranded for a month, okay?
All right.
And then Tom
Oh,
Hanks and
man.
Wilson come by and
I mean, I know this is not a sophisticated movie, but my favorite movie ever really is The Terminator.
Of
that's
course,
a pretty
1984.
sophisticated movie.
it's a great movie.
I would say it's a very sophisticated movie. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it is, but it also can be seen as a dumb movie as well.
Yeah, but
I
the
mean,
very
depending
fact-
on
But the very fact that you would say something like that shows that you are a person of considerable discernment, because you're able to decipher what would be highbrow and what would be lowbrow. And if you were stuck on an island all by yourself and you just wanted to have a good time, I think it's really cool that you chose that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean that happens to just be my favorite movie ever. And I mean, I need to see more movies, but definitely that is I think it's just the perfect story for me, just as a one-off story. Not considering all the other movies. It just feels complete by the end, and even though there is sort of a feeling of like maybe there's more to the story, I feel totally satisfied by the end of Terminator. And the love story is so intense. I just love the fact that Sarah and Reese only has like a day and a half together, and they are able to create this child, and that is supposed to save the world and defeat the monster. So it just is plays into something very primal for me, and I love it.
That movie invokes Frankenstein, the Frankenstein monster, in a way, I would say too, right? The Terminator. You could maybe tie back all the way to the Frankenstein novel in terms of that, that horrific, creature, and then that's becoming more and more potential every day too. When you look at all these robots and what they're doing, and I saw a robot shooting a gun the other day on
What?
Yep.
Mhm.
It's really, really, really scary. So it's March of the Wooden Soldiers, but March of the Terminators, the classic Lauren Hardy movie where all the soldiers attack the bogeymen,
Oh,
which
I
I
love that
love.
movie.
Yeah. And what's the real? It's not March of the Wooden Soldiers. What's that? It's called Babes in Toyland, I think.
But yeah,
The real the title. Yep.
the one with
But
Laurel and Hardy, or
yeah, Lauren
Mhm,
Hardy. Yeah,
mhm,
yep.
yeah.
So that's a classic, classic. But yeah, it's I don't know if I was stuck on it. Well, it's going to be Raquel's turn to go, but I would probably go with Princess Bride. I think if I would,
Oh,
one movie.
good man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Before Raquel goes, and this will give her a minute to think in case she doesn't have a spontaneous answer, which she might. Well, I probably everybody knows this, but the original choice that James Cameron had for the Terminator was O.J. Simpson, but he just couldn't see O.J. Simpson as a mass murderer.
So you couldn't cut
Too
it.
friendly and nice.
He couldn't cut it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Das Wolfen. Hey, Dustin. Keto Simple.
Good myth.
Hey.
Yo, Keto Simple. Hey, Keto
Tiger
Simple.
Stripes.
I just had some keto ice cream. Keto Simple. So, yeah.
And so,
So
what about,
I stalled for you there a little bit,
so
Raquel.
what about number one?
oh, okay.
Wow. Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, you guys already know I'm a nerd, not a geek, so I don't really have a favorite film, but if I had to name off a few that I love, I would probably say Amadeus. I love Amadeus, and
Too many notes.
I could watch it probably 1,000 more times. I think it's hysterical that somebody would dream up a way of telling that story in an entirely fabricated comedy. I find it enjoyable, but I also find it luxurious. It's a very sumptuous movie. It's beautiful to look at.
Great music
Same.
too if you're on the island, right? Too.
Yes, exactly. So, and
Ah.
I think probably the novel that was made into the movie Dangerous Liaisons, I think would be another choice. And I probably Forbidden Planet, and
Ooh.
probably, and this is going to probably shock a lot of people, but I think it's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting movie. Yep.
Mm.
So those would be the ones that would jump out to me where I would be like, yeah, that's like what. I have to watch it over and over. But I mean, obviously Star Trek, right? But the thing is I watch Star Trek movies all year long, all year long.
Mhm.
And I never get sick of them, but I couldn't pick just one. It's like
No.
picking a child.
Couldn't pick TMP. I mean, if you were stuck on a desert island, I think I would
Well, of
go
course
with
I would
TMP.
pick. Of course I would pick TMP,
motion
but it
picture.
just seems wrong. It's there's something very biblical about it. It's like you're dividing your children
Yeah.
or choosing your children. It just seems rather unethical to me. So I tried to avoid it, but yes,
Sure.
yeah, for sure. TMP. You already know, Mark, that TMP I think is possibly
That's
the
your
best science.
favorite.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
When anyone mentions Dangerous Liaisons, I always got to tell the story about my mom watching it with some of my high school buddies and some friends and my dad. You know this story. So when Uma Thurman is being schooled in the ways of love, and she, takes her top off, my mom goes to scream, "She's got wonderful breasts!" Like really loud. And all my friends are like, my friend Rob goes, that's our line.
Yeah.
But that was hysterical. Because we didn't know there was any nudity in that movie. When you rent the movies back, you didn't know what you were getting sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't. But Mom, we're all laughing about it. It's a story we're still joke about. But so thank you, Uma Thurman, for that memory, and shout out to Mom. So
The book is even better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun night. Yeah. We just because our family, my father spoke French. We're like, oh, there's a lot of French speak. Sounds like a French movie. Let's watch it. Of course, well, French movie. Hey, come on. So
might as well ask Clobby if you can't have Star Wars or the original Superman the movie.
Oh, you're cutting out
Cool.
number 1, number 2.
I know. That's why I got to make it a little bit challenging because
Okay.
That's what I did. That's why I cut out the Star Trek, is because
Oh,
everyone
all right.
would just be automatically waiting for me to go, oh, she's going to choose Star Trek. She always chooses Star
Right.
Trek. So.
Well, that's fair cop. Then I'll say the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
I mean,
Good pick too. Yeah.
That's my number 3 of all time. You cut out number 1 and 2 right there. So yeah, it's
kaboom.
Clobby, even someone who's never met you could take one look at you and go, Star Wars, Superman the movie.
Pretty much. I guess. Yeah, I guess that easy.
Can't argue with that.
Oh, Dadman, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
about
I was going to ask Dadman. Yeah, what
You've
was
been so quiet?
He's tired.
Well, it has to be Star Wars. It's the one classic of all time. Of all
No. We've taken Star Wars and Superman off the table.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not allowed to choose our absolute plannable favorites.
That is so hard for me because I'm so heavy. Oh man, right-handed dominant. But I would say some of the Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark movies.
Yeah.
Actually, Last Crusade was one that I really liked with the Holy Grail concept. So
Nice.
Sure, yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
I can watch that all the time. But yeah, not a fan of the second one, but I like the first 3. Well, the real 3 Indiana Jones movies. But after that, it's kind of all bets off. That's big franchises like that. So usually my favorites are comedies and things like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite comedy, may I ask?
It's the family hates me for this because I made them watch it every Christmas. But Jingle All the Way with Schwarzenegger is one of my favorites of all time.
For me, I can never decide between Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and The Three Amigos.
Oh,
I can't. It's just
Nice.
I can't do it.
I
about you,
love
Retro
Dirty
Nerd?
Rotten. I love
That's a
Dirty
great
Rotten
movie.
Scoundrels.
That's Steve Martin
so
in that one, right?
good.
And Martin Short.
Yeah,
Or
both of them.
Michael Caine.
Both of them.
Oklahoma.
Ruprecht.
Oh, Raquel.
Michael
If
Caine.
someone is more than famous, they're infamous.
Infamous. That's a great movie.
Oh, what was the song? Blue
Shadows on the Trail.
Shadows. And then the horses start going.
Bum 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 bum
You
bum.
sound just like them, Raquel. That's amazing.
Well, it's lots of practice. I mean, I've
I
probably
didn't
watched
think you
it
could get your
1,000
voice that
times.
low.
Yeah, that's a good. I love Steve Martin. I love me some Steve Martin.
He's always
Have you watched Murders in the what's the name of it with Martin Short? I've been watching with Steve Martin. Murders in the Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building. Just started watching
No,
that.
I
That's
haven't
really
yet.
New
good
TV
murder
show.
mystery.
Right,
Yep.
right.
New TV show. Yep.
You know,
Nice.
Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Yep. And
Right.
Selena Gomez. Yep. It's an interesting casting in terms of the ages of you've got old and young people or young person working together to solve a murder. So it's been pretty fun. Yeah, it's been pretty good. And Steve Martin and
Mhm.
and Nathan Lane, isn't it? Yeah, so far I'd recommend it. It's not finished with the season yet, but it's been really good. And I gotta say, look, you've got Zardoz,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
actually, people make fun of that movie, but because of the costuming, but it's a really deep science fiction movie. And the end
Oh,
is
yeah.
blows your
Nice.
mind.
It's like so freaky. I love it. It's, I remember seeing it for the first time and going, "What is this that I'm watching?" And I saw it again just to make sure that I was really watching what I was watching, and I realized, oh wow, there's a whole society and like a deep story going on here, different levels of commentary that's being said but not said, and just great stuff. It's just confusing. You've got to unravel
Yeah.
that story, and it's kind of presented in a very comical way, not trying to be comical though, but being so weird it ends up being like making you burst into laughter and you
Yep.
first see
Yeah.
it, but then you're just like, oh, this is much deeper than what you think of at first appearances. So I love that story.
Yeah, you peel back the onions on that story, and it's
Oh,
there's a lot going on there. That 70s rock fan, shout out to him. He's doing great with his channel too. And I was on a panel with him for reviewing Zardoz, and I hadn't seen it, in a long time. And we always crack jokes about Zardoz, in terms of the, like we said, only Connery could pull that outfit off. But when you really analyze
yeah.
the
Well,
movie,
and Borat and Sean
Borat.
Connery,
Yeah.
the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rod Thunderbird said, has anyone else picked up Planes, Trains, and Lost Automobiles? Which is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie.
That's a good.
Those aren't
gosh.
pillows.
Those aren't. That's what I was just
Those
typing
aren't
in.
pillows.
Lost Luggage Edition. Now, is that the new 4K version that just came out that people are panning because of the kind of the transfer and some of the artifacting that they put in it, and then they added the film grain back? Or I own most versions of that movie, so was that the one that added? I think that one added some.
You're getting an
some of the lost
emphatic
footage.
yes from the chat. He, in yelling all caps, Rod Thunderheart says yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Rod. What's up, buddy?
And Das Wolfen would go with Silent Running. Oh, another great movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Classic. Yeah.
Can you believe I have not seen that yet? And I have to. People have been telling me that I need to see Silent Running.
Yeah.
And
Number one, love that one.
Yep. Bruce Stern. That's Bruce Stern.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the R2D2 robot.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie, right? Yep.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Number one gave that one a glowing review, if I remember right, eh?
I don't remember. Let me look at the.
You did. Silent Running,
You did, yeah.
Yeah, you saw Silent Running.
I really liked it.
Oh, and here we've got one of the all-time great sci-fi movies that you reviewed, 2001: A Space Odyssey. And if you,
That's a good
it's
one.
kind of tough to see, but if I am big in myself, I wish it's be scary about that.
Silent
But
Running. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to watch that one, honey.
okay.
Tough to see,
I
but
will.
there's my 2001 soundtrack hiding behind my lights and effects. There's my camera set up there. But yeah, that movie, and what you got to do is you got to watch. If you watch that, you've got to play Echoes by Pink Floyd, right? And you got to time it right with the the end sequence.
Oh,
there.
with the Stargate, yeah.
Oh, it just have you done that or?
No, well, I've played other music, and
Yeah.
it's perfect for
But Echoes by Pink Floyd, and they say they didn't do it, or maybe it's one of those great coincidences of life or the universe and everything. But it's glorious when you do that.
Well, we're gonna have to do a watch party for Raquel. with The Princess Bride. She's got to see it. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't leave
So
this. You can't
good.
shuffle off this mortal coil without having seen it.
Why don't I
You know-
just put it on right now? I'll get the strikes on my channel out of the way.
There you
and
go.
then-
But Mark, I was to Retro Nerd Girl. I was looking at your videos. You reviewed Samurai Cop.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! The last
love
time I saw that was on a Rift Tracks event.
Oh yeah.
What a very off the wall silly movie. But
It's brilliantly terrible. I love
Yeah.
it.
exactly.
It's so
Wow.
much fun.
Galaxina.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
Galaxy in it. Yeah.
My goodness.
That's one I haven't heard of.
What? Which one?
I haven't heard of Galaxina or Death,
1980-ish.
Death by
79.
Temptation.
So Retro Nerd Girl, do you? I mean, like a movie like Samurai Cop, that's like you said, brilliantly bad. Do you like review those type of movies too, specifically?
Yeah,
Not just the good movies.
Absolutely, because I think, you know, I believe that those movies inspire a lot of creativity. Some of the movies, some movies they just didn't even have the money. They had an idea. They wanted to put something out there, and they put out a piece of art. And maybe you don't think it's art, but it entertained a lot of people. And there are a lot of people right now in Hollywood trying to figure out how do you entertain people. And if a bad movie, did such things, I think it should be applauded. I don't know. I spend a lot of time watching bad movies because they put a smile on my face. Somebody did not care that it wasn't going to work out. They didn't have everything that they needed. They didn't have the most brilliant lighting. They didn't have the most brilliant actors, and they still tried anyway. They still went for it. So I applaud that valor. And I enjoy seeing a low budget movie that's trying to do science fiction. And it's like they have cardboard walls up, they are like doing all sorts of in-camera tricks. One movie that I reviewed last year was Planet of Vampires. And that production had so little money, but they really set the mood on that film with lighting and the placements of different objects on a completely different world. So that, they try to represent a complete other planet. And they did very well. They used a lot of you could see
Number one reviewed this one also.
Oh yeah.
I just watched this a few weeks ago too. Yeah.
This is, I mean, there's a lot of smoke and they're using color lights to just evoke a certain kind of mood when you see it. It looks not always totally scary, but definitely looks otherworldly.
Yes. Yeah,
and
for sure.
there was a moment. I don't know if you guys have seen the beginning of the invasion of the body snatchers, the first, I'm sorry, the second one that was done in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning of that movie, they're showing the home world of the planet, and it's kind of like that these monsters come from, where these pod people come from, and it sort of looks like this planet.
You wonder,
yeah. So it's like, oh, this could even be considered in sort of, if you had a really imaginative mind, you could even consider this as like a prequel, because these objects or these creatures are using people's bodies. They are kind of like body snatching these, the astronauts that land on this planet.
Yeah.
and are kind of getting them to do the things that they want them to do by by actually entering their body and controlling them. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting how you can see a movie like this and connect it to another movie that also has, like a similar flavor to it.
Right. Well, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Space Mutiny. It's a 1988 movie where
Yes.
they actually used the original TV footage from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I remember that
Oh,
movie.
so bad. MST3K roasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Oh, and hail to Eric K, the great wrench.
Hey.
Hello,
Yeah,
Eric.
buddy, Eric
Eric.
K.
By Eric. Yep. Hope you're having a good night. Yep.
Always good to see you, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Now, Nerd Girl, you shouldn't have reviewed Johnny Dangerously. My father reviewed Johnny Dangerously once.
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 And what happened?
He's
You haven't seen the movie, have you? That's the whole
paraphrasing a
joke.
joke of the
Yeah,
setup
that's
joke of the movie.
That's the whole joke. Yeah, it was a running gag through the movie. Joe Piscopo. And,
Yeah, Joe Pesci.
Oh, that was
And
and Batman.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since
You
I
shouldn't
saw
hang me on a hook. My sister
saw
hung
that-
me on a hook once. Once.
I saw them in the movie theater with my buddy Vinny.
Me too.
And I can
Well, not
remember
with your
that,
buddy
but I don't remember the.
I saw it with my
line.
cousin Vinny.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
what
so
it
it was your buddy, my cousin. But they had to use that. They couldn't use that Weird Al Yankovic theme. That was the opening theme. The theatrical version had to be replaced for
Oh.
video
Really?
Take it
versions
out.
and stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
some kind of big dust up with them. I don't know what it was.
That's a crime.
Because the opening
Wait.
credits in the theater had an Al Yankovic theme that's, of course, called "This Is the Life," which is one of
Yeah.
my favorite
Oh,
of his
yeah.
songs.
Yeah. Eric K says, hello, beautiful people. What about me and Clobby? Not gonna say
Yeah,
us?
we don't count. I'm not people. Who are you calling people?
Not people. And look, we got Batman as Mr. Mom. That was the line. Like how Mr. Mom is going to play Batman back when
Clobby and I
were.
were like had
We were going, Michael
hemorrhaging
Keaton.
from our foreheads when that was announced.
When it was announced, Michael Keaton, what?
Yep. Mr.
Mr.
Mom.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, this is a shock.
Gung Ho. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Nobody says the B word.
Yeah, but I'm Batman. So another shout out to Mom who stole this from. She didn't steal it from the video store back in '89, but she asked the guy she could have it. So yeah, it's only half.
Oh, that's pretty
half
cool.
a standee. That's pretty cool. I got
Yeah.
a airbrush is that got bent a little bit, but yeah, it's so I keep this wall behind me. So Michael Keaton, it's almost real size too, I guess, right? My
Yeah.
shoulders are a lot broader
In
than
other words,
Michael.
it's tiny, is what you're saying.
Michael Keaton. Yeah, look, I love his performance, but physically, I'm like, I could squash Batman like a bug, but didn't have the broadest shoulders. I mean, he's kind of filled out now, and of course, I've unfortunately filled out way too much myself. But
Yeah, the scene when he lifts up the trap door, and you got the
Yeah.
skinny little arm sticking out of the rubber arm.
the rubber, yeah,
kind of kills it, But
yeah.
but he
Great
did
performance though.
he did do a good job, and he was the first one to come up with, the raspy voice to disguise his voice, because before then people had just sort of, this is a job for Superman, exact same voice, just a lower register.
Mhm.
And he was the first guy to think, if I go raspy with it, it'll disguise my voice no matter what. So, and it's been copied. So, swear to me, it's been copied so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's for sure. And before we get too far into this great evening, I'm going to do a giveaway tonight. So let me change my camera here, and we can pick. I'm going to give away one of my 3D printed creations. So we'll do that wheel of. Let's see, put that on here. And the one thing that's not showing, I just printed it tonight. Let me spin this around so you can pick one of these. Of course, to enter, you have to give me your address, and I just got to ship to the U.S. unless Raquel wins one, then I'll ship it to her. Just kidding, but because the shipping, if you live in Italy, I can't afford to ship to you. I apologize, but so continental U.S. But so you have to
Tom,
pick one of these.
Hey, Tom.
Tom and Eric.
Hey, how's it
Hey.
going? Thank you,
What's up,
Tom.
buddy?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yep.
Hey, Donnie.
Thank you for stopping by. Yep.
Hey, Tom.
So this is and I'm always streaming with Tom on Toxic Tuesday. We have a great time hanging out, and of course, I'm sure everyone here is sub to Midnight Edge after dark. But if you're not, make sure you please do. So we've got yeah, Mark will not send you spam mail. Yeah. So I tried some funky filament for Judge Dredd. I don't know if Judge Dredd would approve of that, but I thought that came out pretty cool.
Oh, looks great, man.
Yeah, looks
Yeah.
good.
And you've got the classic Spock here. You've got a unicorn.
Who sculpted these?
These are all from Thingiverse or different free models you can get on the internet to print.
Okay.
So I'm forgetting the name of the person that did Dredd, but he's done a ton of models that look
With 3D
look
printing,
really
it
great.
can't be easy. So those are
Yeah,
fantastic, dude.
Well, really talent. The real talent is the designers and the animators that are able to create these things. So, at the end of the night, we'll do. If you want to be entered, we'll put your names in, and then we'll do that wheel. The spinning wheel, the wheel of names, and we'll give it out to a lucky winner. So, but I'm going to show the other thing I have is a thing. So I just printed that today. I didn't get a chance to go. I print at my office, and here's the latest print. Let me get this. Share the screen here. Let me get to this. So I'm remoting into my Raspberry Pi at my office, which I have controlling this. So let's go to the control. So it's not the easiest thing to see, but let's go here and let's make this one.
Thank you, Tiger
full
Stripes.
screen.
That's a good compliment. Speaking of which, Mark, the thing that we talked about me sculpting for you to print,
Yeah,
I haven't forgotten about it, but my license to Maya has expired, so I've got to figure out what I'm going to do.
re-up it. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Yep.
I will, but I haven't forgotten about it. I just want you to know. So.
Yep. Thank you. Yep. So this is actually the thing from Wednesday, the series, the thing hand. So I didn't have a chance to. Thank you for getting the AI bot there, Eric. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Eric. I almost got
see.
it, but you got to beat me to it.
You got you first. Yep. So if I scroll down a little bit, so this I'll show everyone the original model. But here's the thing, thing from Wednesday. That's the hand. And if we go to let's see if I make that full screen so that disappears. Let's go, the cool thing is you can watch the time lapse. So this is connected to a Raspberry Pi. So if I do view, it's kind of herky jerky, but this will give you an idea how it works. And I've got to just set up a camera, I guess, and just do this as a live stream or just as a ASMR stream. Just you could put some music on and and watch this put you to sleep, right? But it's pretty fascinating.
Idea.
It's pretty fascinating to watch these 3D printers print this. So, yep, it's all 3D printed. Yep. And hail to Wade. Thank you, Wade. Yep. And sub to Wade's channel. I think I have that. And if not that, man, if you could throw Wade's channel up there in the chat, that would be much appreciated. I think you've got that. Should be in my show notes below, but yeah. So this one took about 12 hours to print, I think. So let me once this prints, I'm going to show what it looks like. But it came out pretty. It looks like it came out pretty cool, and I've got this filament that changes color as it prints, so that's really cool. Or you can buy, certain printers, can change filament, or they have different things you can do to print multicolor, or you can stop the printer. But it's it's really fun to do all these things with a 3D printer, and it's not once you have the printer, the filament's about $20 to $30 per reel, and you can print a ton of stuff with that one. Obviously depending on the size. Oh, MMM is here. Big shout out to you. Yep. Hope you're doing well. Yep. So congrats on the 500.
MMM.
as one of the first hearing guys, I could go now claim my part of history and fight the big guys. Keep on rocking. Well, God bless you, MMM, and yes, you can go fight the big guys. Yeah, and but
Yeah, buddy.
real shout out to you.
Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're feeling well.
Yeah,
Same.
so yeah, that really touches my heart.
Hang
So
in there, brother.
thank you for that. Yep. And Donnie Pearson says, "Congrats." Yep. So we can see how long this takes just to show the time lapse movie, so you can imagine. But Slow and Steady gets the job done. Gets the job done here.
Hail, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Larry, nice to see you.
Mark,
Yeah,
we have 21 people watching now, and 33 likes. I remember the first couple streams. I think it was you, me, and a couple of people. I think Captain JT Kirk and Phantom Outsider and one or two other ones. And now it's just growing and growing. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Yep, we're having a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing it. So yeah, it's good times. I appreciate it. Were you now? Who was sub number one? Was that you or was that Eric K?
I believe I was sub number one.
Okay.
You mentioned it on Klobby's channel, and I went over there, and at the time it said there weren't any.
That was a while back.
Probably depends on who hit the enter key first, but
Well, that was a long time ago.
either one of us is okay.
Yeah.
I feel to be in very good company.
Yeah, I think it was. I thought it was Eric, but then you said it was you. Of course, that's how bad my rusty memory is. So, but yeah, big shout out to both of you guys. Obviously, whoever's fight over who was number one. But yeah, and I remember Eric K was so nice. He was the first person in chat for sure. Yeah, so Eric, I remember. I think I always had mic problems because I was using OBS Studio, and it's a little bit more complicated to use. And I think I did like 5 minutes, and Eric K, God bless him, was like in the chat and said, "No one can hear you." So that was that's always fun to have make those beginning mistakes, and I did the same kind of thing a few weeks ago, and yeah, but much appreciated. I remember that. Drat, no one can hear me. So yeah, StreamYards. I got pretty good at OBS, I have to say, but StreamYards does make things a lot easier, especially with guests, I have to say. So I think Raquel, we did a 3D printing thing, and to set up the guests was a lot tougher.
You and Klobby were behind. You one time you thought you started the show. Do you remember this? And I came on. I'm like, "Are you guys going to start?" And you're like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?"
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to hit this. I forgot to hit the go live button. Yeah, I forgot to hit the go live button. I think. Yeah.
What's funny is the last couple of days I've been hitting the go live before the countdown. So you have the other problem. Like, oh, we're live.
We're live. Yep. Yeah. So here's what the thing looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool. Oh, with that color. So that's one of the giveaways. But I didn't the other thing. So I didn't have a chance to finish printing today. I didn't have a chance to go grab it. Oh, look, we got Courtney here.
Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Hi guys, I don't know what my avatar is. I'm in the car right now and I can't stay, but I wanted to pop in and just say congratulations.
Thank you so much, Courtney.
I literally pulled over because I forgot, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the 500 subs!" So, congrats to Mark and hi to everybody. And yeah, I'm not sure what that avatar is. Sorry about that.
It looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Thinking or something. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I just don't know where that came from.
Underwater.
On my
Damn you all to hell!
Soon to be Planet of the Apes.
You blew it up!
They blew it up.
You maniacs!
But yeah, I don't have headphones in, so it's probably echoey and everything. But I'll
You sound okay.
get in the chat once I get home. All right.
Thank you, Courtney. Or pop in when you can.
Or I might pop back in. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.
Take care, Courtney. Thank you for stopping.
Have a good one.
Stopping in. Yep.
This would be the first time we had three beautiful women, or three women of any kind, on the show. So history. Just so happens that all the ladies that are on your show are just beautiful and gorgeous and wonderful people.
Yes, thank you. Very nice of you to say that.
Indeed.
Well, I'm also including my daughter in that, so she's
Of course.
Of course,
Mark,
and she's number one.
MMM says, actually, here in the hospice, they let me do what I want. And my place slowly turns into a toy store. I actually build my diorama for my Master of the Universe stuff, and the nurses bring their kids. That's very cool, MMM.
That's amazing.
Love to
really
hear that,
cool.
man.
That's
so
really
nice,
cool.
Nice, bud.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
Indeed,
that's
sir.
bringing some love and joy to people,
That's great.
even in a tough spot. So that's
yeah.
What
that's
a
really...
flip of the standard. Usually, people bring somebody into the hospital to cheer up the patient. It's not usually the patient cheers up the world. So, well done,
Right.
MMM.
Yeah.
Indeed, MMM. Love it.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very nice,
I love
very
hearing
nice. Yeah. So I think Tiger Stripes wants the thing hand, and Eric K says, "Give me a hand thing." Yep. And so what we're gonna do, I guess, as we
Thank
get
you,
towards
Thing.
the end of the night, we'll put everyone's name. There's this wheel of names, so we'll put everyone's name and who would like to enter in the chat, and we spin the wheel and see who the lucky winner is. The only thing is you do have to give me your address or your P.O. box or something to send it to, obviously.
Eric K, I can't believe you said that. That was just wrong, buddy. That was wrong. It was funny, but it was wrong.
Oh, all right. Oh, come on. I didn't read it that way.
Well, that's because
I'm
you're
a Boy Scout here.
It's because you're a Boy Scout.
Come on, Maddy's daddy. So yeah, so this is and someone who had mentioned printing for their figures was getting a resin printer. Yeah, so if you want to do figures, resin is probably the way to go. Although there is a great YouTuber out there, I'm trying to remember the name, who does fantastic work with FDM printing, which is this kind of printing, which is the plastic that's shrunken, melted plastic, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So that type of printing. You can also do figures with that, but resin's probably the best one, and they're getting a lot cheaper now too. So you can get into it maybe for a couple $100, $200, $300. Of course, the more you spend, the bigger the machine gets. But start small if you're looking to get into 3D printing. Start with the smaller model and try it and get used to it. And then if you really end up liking it, then you can go with that. So.
Judge Dredd almost looks like she's Mardi Gras colors, which is perfect for this time of year.
Oh yeah, right
Down here. Yeah. It looks like a king cake. I had to have. My mom gave me some today.
I want a king cake.
My mom gave me a king cake to bring home tonight.
With a baby in it.
Well, they always have a baby. Well, not anymore. Actually, they put it outside of the wrap.
I know. I want the.
I'll save the baby for you. That looks like king cake colors, though. I'm serious.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah. Don't eat it though. Yeah.
It's Bavarian cream, but I like the other one kind better. I went to Rouse's the other day. They have stacks of the same types of king cake. I'm like, man, I want to.
Can you explain what king cake is? Because we're saying there's a cake with a baby that you can eat. Some people might get the wrong idea of, what's happening on the street.
It's a Mardi Gras New Orleans tradition. King cake around Mardi Gras time of the year, which is this time of year. It's a kind of a round cake. It goes in a circle,
almost like a pastry dough that's twisted.
It's in a circle in the middle. Yeah, it's like a big gigantic donut type thing, and it has various color frosting on top that are basically similar to the colors you see here. Mardi Gras colors, right? And sometimes they have just like cinnamon in it. Sometimes they have Bavarian cream. Sometimes they have strawberry or cherry or different things. Just depends, and of course, I love the blueberry ones myself. But so yeah, and they basically, the tradition is there's a little bitty plastic baby inside that they bake into the cake, and whoever gets the piece with the baby, and hopefully they don't bust their teeth on it, has to buy the next king cake.
Yep. And the king is Jesus.
Hmm?
That's the thing.
Yeah, because
the king that's where the name comes
before
from.
Lent. Yes.
Yes, it's before Lent. Yep.
Yes.
Gap After Dark seems to
but
like
they started putting them in in the package when you would buy the cake, but not inside the cake anymore. They stopped making them inside the cake a few years ago.
They probably got sued
10 years ago, whatever it was.
No fun. Yeah.
Sissies.
When I was
So-
really little, and my Irish family, they used to make the Irish cakes, the birthday cakes, where there are things baked inside of the cake. So like pennies, or like you would wash the money first, so you put money in it, or presents or things like that. So the Irish do that. They bake things inside of cakes, and some of them are like for when you're going to get married, and whatever you get in the cake, in the slice of cake that you get, it symbolizes something, like something that's going to happen in the future, or if you're going to be lucky, or if you're going to have a great friend, or things like that. And it's just so funny because I haven't thought of it in years until I saw the king cake. And then I was like, oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never knew that you were Irish,
Yeah.
Raquel Lassie.
Well, I kind
So-
of knew that I was Irish, but I didn't realize until I did my DNA. I did the 23andMe, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like, I believe I'm 99% Southern Irish, the bottom 10 counties. And then only like, I think it's like maybe 1.5%, the tippy top of Norway. So yeah, but
Wow.
growing up when I was very small, I remember money being in the cake, and you were expecting your money cake, and of course the money, like I said, is washed very very thoroughly in the sink. It's coins, but you have to be careful eating it because you don't want to
Yeah.
swallow any money. But I mean, this is just something that is a tradition in Ireland.
Interesting. Yep. And
Raquel,
I just want to say, Lisa
go
was
ahead.
asking about the 3D printer. So yeah, Prusa is a great way to start, the Prusa Mini. You're paying a little bit more for Prusa, but
Marcel
it's
Proust. I'm sorry.
yeah, Prusa Research. Yep. So that's a great way to start. And they have an SLA printer here and the original Mark III. But they're also, Creality is great. The best thing is to watch a YouTuber like Teaching Tech. And if you look at some of my 3D printing videos, I've got links to some of those great reviewers of 3D printers. So Teaching Tech is one guy that I mentioned, and this there's a bunch of people that I have listed in my videos, but you can't go wrong with Prusa. Sometimes I think it's better to spend a little bit more if you can. And of course, I'm enabling there, but because then you get more reliability, especially if you're a beginner. Once you get into the hobby, then you can get a machine you can tinker with and play with. But you get really frustrating if you're trying to 3D print, and then things are breaking and not, it clogs. It's kind of like when you watch a TV commercial and you think everything is perfect and nothing fails, and things go wrong. You're melting a nylon, basically, this nylon thing of plastic, PLA, like a hot iron, and going around like putting icing on a cake and building something that way. So there's a lot can go wrong, but I would say I have an artillery sidewinder machine right now, but I'd say Prusa is probably for beginner is a great way to go. But maybe I'll do a stream on that. That's a good idea to do a quick, what's good in the. I'll go, the Mars 3 Ultra 4K, great machine too. So it's all depends on how, no job is too big, no fee is too big, to quote Ghostbusters. So that's but I do have an artillery 3D printer. My first printer was a real small mono price. I think I got for $89 on clearance. It was, does real small stuff. But here, I'll stop. Let me grab one of the prints I did with that.
While he's doing that, could somebody please put Lisa's YouTube in the chat? Because I just followed a retro nerd girl, and then I remembered that I had trouble finding Lisa. Can somebody put Lisa in the chat for me, please?
Put Lisa in the her channel.
Yes, please.
Lisa. Oh, just Lisa. Okay, let's see if I can try to find it. How would I find your channel, Lisa? Or did you?
Does she have a wrench?
No, I
No.
don't think so. Anyway,
Does somebody with a wrench follow Lisa? I'd love to follow Lisa back. Can somebody give me a hand? I can't find her.
Or actually, if you could, Lisa, I think if you're on Twitter, if you want to
Yeah, if you can
DM
send
me
one
on
of us the link to
Twitter
your
or
channel.
DM
Yeah.
one of us on.
Oh yeah, maybe it
on
is on
Twitter.
her Twitter.
Yeah.
Let me go check. I follow
go
her
check
on
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, because we follow
each
Lisa.
other.
Don't be
Twitter.
embarrassed,
Yep.
Lisa. It's great. We're glad. Oh, look, there's Eric K.
There we go.
As
Now we're all
always,
going to
man,
sub
right
right
there.
now. Thank you.
I love
I
you.
knew
Thank you,
Eric
Eric.
K would come through.
The man.
Yep.
I love Eric.
The man, the
Always
myth,
the
the
man.
legends.
He's the best.
Right.
Thanks,
There we go.
sweetheart.
Sub.
Love you, Eric. Thank you, honey.
Sub.
And when you sub to someone, make sure you watch a video just so you don't get unsubs. I'm doing right now. I have a video playing. And
Subbed and watching a video.
And watching a video. So
Really?
that'll stick. Yep. There you go.
Let me put on one of Retro's videos right now.
Where are you?
Because that happens sometimes. If you don't watch a video, then it disappears. Yep. And why am I getting how come I've noticed on Twitter I've been unfollowed from a bunch of people? This is really weird lately. So I just
Were you being
refollowed
offensive?
No, I hope not.
I know.
I
Of course,
certainly
I had
hope
to say
so.
that. It's funny. The Boy Scout leader being offensive. Yes.
No, but people that I've been following, I've been unfollowed from. You know, I don't think someone can do that. So a few people. I was trying to remember who tonight. I was Raymond. I was unfollowed from Raymond on because he was posting. Well, this is the joke that I put on Twitter, which I don't know if you guys saw my my Enterprise joke from the other night. So let me share that on the screen.
What?
Wow, Retro Nerd Girl has almost 6,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
she's been around. She's got a great
Yeah,
channel.
but she's been around forever. Like she's that's why I said at the top of the show, she's the real deal. She's a real. That's why I'm always saying, yeah, she's a real deal. Follow her. she's been doing this for I don't know, like more than 5 years, I think. Right, Retro Nerd Girl?
Yes, thank you.
Way more.
Yeah. This year will be my 7th year.
7, yeah.
Well,
on this channel.
Yeah.
I've got your video on why the 1982 Conan the Barbarian is a masterpiece, and I can tell you why it is. You don't have to watch her video. You could just say, Lisa, what is best in life? Kill your enemies, or crush your enemies. See them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of Mark and
their
Clubby.
women.
I'd say still watch the video.
So Dadman's gonna head out.
There's like 20 more things to add to that.
But
I just went for the cheap laugh. That's
yeah. So here's my comment. I said, real view from that's just the fighter jet that shot down the balloon from China. So a lot of people got a kick out of that one. So Raymond, I was swung by Raymond's channel, and he happened to put that up during the stream right when I jumped in. So yeah, but Hungry Boy, thank you, Hungry Boy. Yep, for that. Thank you for that very much. Thank you for the congratulations, and glad you made it here tonight or this afternoon, whatever it is. Out your way. So thank you so much. But the Dadman has to go. Yep. He does have an excuse tonight. He has not had much sleep.
I don't think he's streamed enough. I think he needs to go another 24.
Okay. Well, if I could take tomorrow, if I do it. And this avatar for hungry out there. So hey, thanks, Mark. Just wanted to thank you again for everything you did. Congratulations on 500 really quickly, man.
Thank you.
Flew through up there really quickly, and congratulations. You deserve all the success, and thanks again, like I said earlier, for all that you do for other people, and appreciate it. You're a great guy. Real
appreciate you.
Absolutely, and thank you. Like I said, thank you for all that you've done, and for us, even personally, not just channel related. So, which is even better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dadman.
Dadman Clan.
Right, Dadman, buddy.
Nice as always, Clubby. Steve, too. Raquel, awesome to get to be on a panel with you again.
Hey, can you kiss everyone's faces for me? Just give the girls big smooches on their cheeks. Tell them that we send our love, and just tell the girls I said hello, please.
I will do that. And to you, Retro Nerd Girl, an honor to meet you and talk with you briefly. And much success. And y'all have a great night, great rest of the stream. I'll catch you later. Thank you, guys.
Dadman. Take care.
Dadman.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Best of misses.
Wowzer. So yeah, he did 24 hours. He's crazy teenagers.
Good guy.
Those
Well,
crazy kids.
Crazy kids. Yeah.
Like wow, Scoob. Oh wait, wrong one.
I see that Judge Dredd with the colors. I keep thinking the Mardi Gras Mambo. That song.
Klobby, I'm the only one that's going to get that joke.
Down in New Orleans, where the blues were born. You know that song. It takes a cool cat to blow a horn.
Yeah, but I'm the
right.
only one. No one's
You're
going
right.
to get that except me.
It's very New Orleansy.
That's a
Sorry.
Louisiana
Orleans-y,
local.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's time for us to get down there and learn.
Nah, you don't want to come to New Orleans. It's a whole. That was anything. You don't want to.
Yep.
Retro, you ever been down this far down to New Orleans?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have family down there.
Oh, cool. Gotcha.
Yeah.
In New Orleans?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I have family in Mississippi as well.
Oh, okay.
No, nobody's perfect.
Did you see the
So do
post
I.
that Minimus put up earlier today on
Minimus is here?
Twitter?
Oh.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
Minimus.
I did see him put some stuff up.
What a beautiful thing. Yeah, I guess he went to, I think it was a Mexican restaurant. I'm not sure.
Nearby. Oh, yeah.
But he's sitting there with the missus and they're having dinner. And there's a hope wall. And I guess what happens in New Orleans is the good people of New Orleans, when they go into this restaurant, perhaps there are others, I don't know. I'd need to ask Minimus. But they pay for other people to have a meal. And so they put the receipt up on this hope wall. I think it's called a hope wall. And if you're hungry and you don't have money, you go there and you take the receipt down and you redeem it and you have dinner. And I almost cried. I just could not believe what a beautiful thing that is. And Minimus was quite proud. He said, and as you could see, the wall is full. So it was full of these beautiful receipts for people to have dinner if they were hungry.
Right, but it's not New Orleans. That was the only correction there. It was way far from there. But it is Louisiana. It was just near towards where he and I were.
Okay. So
where is it, Clubby?
Watson, which is out there on the other side of Denver Springs.
Yeah.
I know where Watson is.
But still,
lovely.
it's only an hour. It's about an hour and a half from New Orleans. So that's
Hey, the toothbrush was invented in Watson. Because if it had been invented anywhere else, it would have been called a teeth brush. Guys, it's a real ding 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 kind of sound.
Ding 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 ding.
Do
But
they
still,
still have toothbrushes there?
no, we don't know.
No,
what
it was
that
a
means.
joke because they're all toothless. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
But other than that,
now
number one, yes, it is a very lovely thing, though.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty beautiful thing to do for others and for others in need and to remove all that shame and also to build community. Nothing builds community more than knowing that others are thinking about those who don't have anything at all and are in that position. So what a wonderful thing to do for your community and for your fellow man. I just thought that it was very nice. Very, very nice.
Yes, and it's a place called Pappy's Fajita Factory, actually.
So it was a Mexican restaurant. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
The deviousness. Yeah.
And I see a movie on this list here that Raquel might have liked, Fantastic Planet. Did you like that movie? Raquel?
Yes, it's not called Fantastic Planet, but I know that that's what they call it in the United States. Yeah, it's actually Savage Planet. But yeah, oh my gosh, that is one of the best science fiction films I've ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness, that is just cherry. What did you think of it, Retro Nerd Girl?
Oh, I love it. It was so well. I love the art of the the drawing style of the animation, and which it just looks like moving art, and all of the freaky otherworldly creatures and how they
unique, isn't it?
Yes, and how they actually felt like they were alive, and they kind of have this sort of I call it like the circle of life, where one animal eats another one and another one eats another one. And it was just trippy, and I enjoyed it so much. I love the deeper layers of the story, and it it was it's a great allegory, I suppose, for the oppressed people,
Mm-hmm.
and the drive, the need to be free, to be a free individual, and
Mm-hmm.
how, the humans. I thought the backstory for this was actually kind of interesting, how these humans ended up on this strange planet in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So even though that really was like 2 minutes of exposition,
Mm-hmm.
it just enthralled me. I was like, I want to know about this.
Yeah, the story was so strong that I was able to sit through an animated film. Like, I don't consider this a cartoon. As you already know, because we hang out quite a bit. You already know I don't like cartoons,
Whoa.
but the animation on this, it didn't
Vegas
feel.
store is not happy.
It didn't feel like animation. It didn't feel like a cartoon. I agree with you. It's almost as if the animation heightened the extraterrestrial experience, the otherworldliness, and yeah, I really loved it too. So
Yeah.
much fun to watch. I would love to get the book, and the best translation of it is not available. And when I tried to buy it, oh my gosh, you would not believe how much it is. Your eyes will water. You'd be like,
Oh,
what?
no.
What?
You'll just have to learn French, Raquel, to read
Oh
it.
goodness! Oh goodness! No, but the original, I believe it was Polish, was it not?
Oh, it's Polish?
I believe so. But I'm not sure. I would need to look that up.
Okay.
You know how I am. I'm an academic. I'm all about the in-text citation. Go get the exact source and provide it. And
Well,
otherwise, I'm not comfortable.
I'll just check Wikipedia. They're always right.
Well, hopefully it's correct. Wikipedia is often incorrect, but yeah, I think it was originally Polish, but I could be wrong there. But I am definitely very eager to get a copy of that book if I can ever afford it and find it.
Missile to the Moon. I don't think I've seen that one. Did you like that? Was that a good one?
No, it was. It's good if you're into the cat women from the moon. It's pretty much the same story, but with a big giant spider.
Okay.
So it's like a lesser quality film, but I of course loved it because I do love the old sci-fi movies, low budget movies. So that's exactly what that is.
Me too.
And of course, we've got the first Star Trek movie here, Forbidden Planet.
The bestest ever. Mark and Retro Nerd Girl, Hungry Boy, who suggested the film to me, is saying that it's actually Czech.
Okay.
So close, but yeah, close only counts in horseshoes. It's Czech, and then it was translated to French. And apparently there are some, I will warn everyone now, that if I recall correctly, there are very substandard translations. So if you try to get the book, be careful. Be careful.
Retro, I don't know if you know Hungry, we call him Hungry Boy because that's where he started. He is, I think, a retired professional comic book artist.
Oh, wow.
And I once asked him, he can't tell us his name because of contractual reasons. And I once asked him if I would know.
And he'd have to kill us.
Yeah, and he said yes, but he is also not only the nicest guy ever, but incredibly knowledgeable about all art, not just comic book art. The great masters, you name it. If you need to know something about art, he is your man.
Oh, wow.
I actually know his name is Don Perlin. He just won't admit it.
And hail to lemon pie.
Lemon pie.
I thought it was Herbie Trimp.
Well, he's passed away, so I can't nail that. I like Trimp though, but
Trimpy.
I like Trimpy, yeah. But he's not Vince Colonna. At least he's off the hook for that.
Yeah.
He will never tell.
He's Frank Robbins.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he's got to be
bad.
dead for. He's got to be been dead for
Whoa,
like
wow, yeah, no.
30 years now. For
Whoa,
like
wow, yeah, no.
30 years now.
I think Perlin's actually gone too, so I can't hang that one on him. But that's his favorite artist. I thought I would tease him with it, you know.
Yeah.
So retro. Before I forget, there's. Are you familiar with Every Frame a Painting?
No.
It's a channel. Right?
So write it down. Go check it out.
Okay.
It's a channel.
It's a great channel. I think Raquel, with her penchant for looking at things through the academic side, will also enjoy this. This guy is a professional editor. He's Canadian, eh? He's from Vancouver.
I'm subscribed.
So you know,
his stuff. Well, he stopped doing it, unfortunately, but his stuff is. There's 7-minute videos analyzing various aspects of film. Very, very entertaining and incredibly knowledgeable. And he talks about animation. He talks about the silent films. You name it.
I beg your pardon.
Michael Bay.
I beg your pardon. Would you please repeat yourself? What is the channel again, sweetheart?
It's called Every Frame a Painting.
Every Frame a Painting.
He's a fellow Canadian, and his insights. They're, like I said, they're only 7-minute videos, but they're brilliant. They're really, really good.
I will check it out. Thank you for the recommendation.
I think you will both like them. So
yeah, I definitely am subscribed to that channel.
Of course you are.
I am. I'm subscribed to like almost every like film channel, but that I am subscribed. But you know something, you can see a wonderful video and then life happens and then you forget it. So I probably just need to like revisit it and get like an extra schooling, if you will, because that channel is pretty remarkable.
And that's what happens with YouTube sometimes. If you like some of my favorite like 3D printing stuff, once in a while I don't watch one of those videos and it totally disappears from your feed. You're like, well, what happened to that teaching tech channel that used to pop up? So it's weird the way the algorithm works. I mean, it does go by, I guess what you're watching, but it's not diverse enough sometimes to remind you, I think, hey, you haven't seen this channel for a few weeks. Go check it out, because the notifications don't always work. So I try to have them on, and then it goes to your email too, and then it spams up your email. Not that you want to miss some of your favorite streamers when they're streaming, but it's a tough thing to keep track of sometimes, because there's so many great things out there. And and it's like great things. Like here's one of Cloudburn Time's favorites, right? Flash Gordon, the 1980 movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Big Trouble in Little China, one of Bobby's
great one. Yep.
favorites.
One of my favorites.
You have Ratatouille, which is one of my. So I'm an animator.
Oh wow!
And so Raquel kind of stabbed me through the heart a little bit, but she didn't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I maintain that animation is the highest form of art, because nobody ever broke down crying while looking at a Kandinsky or a Jackson Pollock, but they did when Bambi's mother died. So
that's true. Yeah. Oh, Labyrinth! Oh, I love that. Ludo.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing that with my buddies when
Ludo
that came
is
out.
so sweet.
I liked Wall-E. I watched Wall-E. Somebody
yeah.
made me watch Wall-E, and I thought that was. But that's not real animation, is it?
Yeah, it's anime.
Of course, it's real animation.
It's really
computer.
good.
It's 3D, but yeah,
it's 3D. Yeah.
But 3D is still all somebody. It's like a puppeteer, but it's a puppeteer who can't physically touch the puppet, because it's in a computer. So it's much easier just to put your hand in and say, "Piggy, it's the Muppet Show, yay!" But however, having said that, Raquel, I do prefer hand drawn myself.
Oh, you do?
I do, simply because, and that's where I started. I started doing hand drawn for public broadcasting, and I prefer it because you go into animation or to any film to escape the real world of traffic and fighting with your in-laws and taxes and stuff. And I think that 3D is closer to our real world, and I think that 2D allows you to suspend your disbelief even further.
Yeah.
You can believe that Wile E. Coyote doesn't fall until he reaches down under the clouds and realizes that he's not standing on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite a cerebral thing to say and to offer up, and I do have to say that in the same vein, I agree, because I find it far more conducive to pretend when I see practical effects compared to CGI. For some reason, when I see practical effects, I just think, oh my gosh, like I feel so immersed in the story. And with the CGI, especially the very modern stuff, I find it hard to concentrate. And I feel like everything is in focus all at once. And so I can see what you're saying there. I think that there's merit to it.
I think, well, and that's kind of two separate things. You have animation, and then you have visual effects. I actually trained in both, and I didn't do the visual effects because between the time that I went to school, the time I graduated school, the pay had just dropped in visual effects. But I have friends who have worked on the Avengers and all these big movies, but they're living in LA and they're sharing, a 2-bedroom apartment, 5 guys, and they rotate who gets the bed, the sofa, the air mattress, So, but Raquel, I think that if given enough time, I could change your mind on animation. Look at Chuck Jones. Look at Chuck Jones alone. Whole generations know the Flight of the Valkyrie as "Kill the Wabbit, Kill the Wabbit,
Kill the Wabbit,"
or the Barber of Seville as the Rabbit of Seville.
Mm-hmm.
Let me crop your top. Let me chop your mop daintily. And Chuck Jones was the first one to really introduce classic opera to the masses without changing it to make it funny.
With that brilliant Carl Stalling music from those.
Carl Stalling,
he was incredible.
Yes, Clobby, knowing Carl Stalling, see, that's well done, sir. That's.
I have one of those soundtracks that has a bunch of his stuff. Oh, that music impressive. In those Looney Tunes is extraordinary.
Retro Nerd Girl, are you with us on this stuff? Are we?
Oh no! I'm a big fan of animation. Great. Any kind of animation, actually. I do have some issue with some computer graphic stuff sometimes, but it's only because I like it when they really go for the goofy fun stuff and not try to well, I don't know, it depends on the project, but I do adore animation. As you can see a little further up, I've got the Wizards up there, some Ralph Bakshi, and just I love anything that can help me to escape for a few minutes sometimes, I love one of my favorite animated movies is Heavy Metal.
Yeah,
I mean that there's so many different sequences that are really good, and what I love about that movie is the different styles of animation that they use within that particular film, and to tell each story differently, and it definitely sets up a different mood by the styling of each animation. I recently saw Akira, in December. A friend sat me down and said, "You got to do this watch party with me and watch Akira," and I was blown away at how good it was. I've been missing out. So there's a lot for me. Animation's been really a big deal.
I like this one. Thor said that about the new Captain Marvel. When she joined the team, he said, "I like this one."
Heavy Metal was one of my all-time favorite movies too, and remembering my high school friends. So shout out to my buddy Larry if he ever watches this. But he had stayed up to tape tape that movie on, like a midnight showing. So we had a VHS tape of Heavy Metal, and you couldn't buy that movie for years. So it's like, and we watched the crap out of that movie. That tape was probably looked so bad, but we didn't care.
And he's never done anything immoral.
Yeah. And
unless you count the preschool prostitution ring. That really bothers me now, by the way, being a dad, that line.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
So so for years, I mean, that was the only way to get that one, was a cruddy VHS copy, but I guess it didn't matter, maybe on the 13-inch colored TV, with the one little speaker, but we used to crank that movie and watch it, like almost for a while, almost like every weekend you'd watch Heavy Metal and maybe have a kick back a few beers when we were old enough.
Take it easy, Charlie. I have an angle.
It's a great,
that's some great quotes in that one.
Another good impression.
Yeah,
by the way,
retro.
If you don't know, Clobby does some great. He does some pretty bad ones too. But he does his Scotty. In my opinion, you almost can't tell him from what's the guy's name?
Jimmy Doohan. Thank you,
Jimmy Doohan.
Yeah, it's really good.
Too kind.
And then not. If before he does it though, can I have 1 minute to try and talk Raquel into liking animation?
Yes.
Okay. So Raquel,
that's up to Mark though. He's the boss.
There's a classic Chuck Jones animation called One Froggy Evening, and it's a construction worker, and he finds a box in his construction site, and he opens it up, and there's a little frog.
Yes.
And do you know?
I remember it.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Yeah.
Chuck Jones was a young animator for Leon Schlesinger, who was the original owner of the Looney Tunes. Mm-hmm. And as he started getting rich, Leon Schlesinger bought a yacht. And young Chuck Jones said to him, Leon, when are you going to take us on your yacht? And Leon said, I don't want any poor, or actually, hang on, let me do this voice correctly. I don't want any poor people on my boat, because they took the voice of Daffy Duck to make fun of Leon Schlesinger, and he never knew it. When they screened it, they thought, we're dead, we're all get fired.
We're dead, yeah.
And he said, that was great. Where'd you come up with that silly voice? Anyway, so Chuck Jones was thinking that night, he said, what if artists didn't have to be exploited? What if they could be artists and just create what they wanted to? What if you had a child prodigy who could refuse to prodige? And so he came up with this frog that had this singing and dancing, and but he only did it when it made him happy. Because every time the construction worker tried to take him to a producer or self-fund and put him on the stage, the frog just went, bleh, and so that whole movie is a protestation of artists being exploited. And as a writer and somebody who has had trouble fighting the corporate publication machines, I think that might strike a note with you a little bit.
I do remember it from when I was young. Yeah.
So it wasn't just a goofy thing about a frog. He was making a statement about the exploitation of artists. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I prefer classical 2D animation also, but there are some great ones that use the CG or the 3D stuff. I mean, the Toy Story movies are fantastic. some of the Pixar stuff, but for the most part,
anything Brad Bird has done.
Yeah, of course he did. He's worked in both. He starts with the Iron Giant, then he went over to the Pixar stuff with the Incredibles, which is incredible.
I think for a lot of those, the story really is the key star.
True, yeah. Because
without those incredible stories,
right.
It just wouldn't be as awesome. But
true, but Toy Story probably wouldn't work if it didn't have that kind of animation as well. Though, I think.
I wonder what it would have been like.
Breakthrough.
Yeah.
I watched all that stuff, but obviously with my offspring. That was my offspring, imbibing these wonderful films.
Well, the Incredibles was, and unfortunately, most of this or all of this got cut. It was inspired by Brad Bird and his wife decided to have a family, and they said, "Well, one of us should stay home. We don't want strangers raising our children," and so it was decided that his wife would stay home and raise the kids. And so she quit her job. She was a professional woman. And immediately they noticed that people started treating her like a second-class citizen. And this was really the whole impetus for this movie, because and it's on the DVD extras. a scene where
There's
the
a
superhero,
scene.
where the superhero family moves into a new neighborhood, and there's a woman on her cell phone. They're having a barbecue, and all the people are, from the neighborhood there. And there's a woman on a cell phone. And if you haven't seen it, and this won't really ruin anything, these are superheroes who, after superheroes were outlawed, had to go undercover, and they had to keep moving because one of them would always slip up. Anyway, there's a woman on her cell phone saying, "What? Me have children? Hello? I want to do something with my life. Hello?" And Mrs. Incredible approaches her and says, "Oh, really? So you don't think that having a children is an important job? What about somebody that gave up a job where they save people they don't even know on a regular basis? What about a job like that? Is that?" And the woman is like cowering behind her. And just then, Bob,
that's a cutscene.
Yeah, it's a cutscene.
They didn't even finish animating it, unfortunately.
No, it's only in pencil.
And
only in pencil.
And the thing is, they cut that out, Steve. And that was a very, very pro-mothers family type message. And then in the terrible sequel, they totally went the other way and put I know number one doesn't like the W word for woke, but they totally changed the message of the second movie to be the opposite, to be looked down on her making the choice to be a mother and stuff. And I hated the second Incredibles movie for that and other reasons. So yeah,
I don't think I've seen the Incredibles movie. What year did that come out?
First was 2004. It's one of my. You know what? It's the greatest Fantastic Four movie they'll ever make.
It's the Fantastic Four, basically. Is what it is.
My offspring was not watching cartoons in 2004. I'm afraid I'm a little older than that. But I haven't seen
so good.
Incredibles.
I wouldn't refer to this as a cartoon. I would refer to it as an animated movie. A cartoon is a flat two-dimensional drawing.
Right.
So even what we call cartoons should be called animated cartoons, actually.
Right. It's a Pixar.
There's my technical nerd self coming out.
There you go.
One of the movies I really loved too was on your list, Retro Nerd Girl, was Toy Soldiers. I guess was that CGI with that animation?
Or was it Small Soldiers?
Small Soldiers.
Okay.
Small Soldiers.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love that movie.
With
all the toys in the toy store.
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah.
I keep trying to scroll down this screen, forgetting that it's just Mark's.
Yeah, and Trip to the Moon. That was the movie my dad took me to see at the library. One of the ones I mentioned.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's a great memory. So that
nice.
was a really, really good memory. Oh, and Last Starfighter, I couldn't get you. I know you just did a watch party. I was visiting Grandma away, so I couldn't make that one. But that's one of my favorite. I think that's an underappreciated movie too.
Yeah, just
so much fun.
Good old fashioned great movie.
Yeah, and especially with the growing up in the arcade age, and dreaming that hey, someday I'm going to save the galaxy. See, it wasn't a waste spending all those quarters, Mom. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
One movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Time Machine.
The Time Machine.
Love it.
Oh, Time Machine's a great, classic. Oh, oops!
Brian Hepburn, you just ruined it for me.
No, he's thinking of the old. No, that's the old one. There's an old film called Toy Soldiers of the early '90s.
Oh, right.
That had Sean Astin.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, that's what I was mixing up. Yep.
Yeah.
And Raquel unfortunately has to transport out.
Aww.
Which
I do.
I'm
it's
so
family
thankful
day
that
for
you stopped
me.
by.
I had to make sure that I stopped by to wish you a very I wish you the greatest success. Congratulations. You deserve it. I just think that you are such a delightful human being. You're kind. You're generous. You're great to talk to. You're a fabulous nerd. You're an excellent geek, and we all love you very much. So congratulations.
So much,
I wish you a continued success. May you have thousands and thousands more.
Oh, thank you so much, Raquel, and much appreciated. And you're a big part of that, success and helping me out and being such a great partner on the Clubhouse with me and Clobbering Times. And
no, it's my pleasure. I love
much,
hanging out with you.
so much fun. So let me put your Patreon in, so everyone go buy Raquel's book on Patreon, because that's the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
So I've got my hardcover there and the background, as you can see. And you finally got a box of hardcovers, I hope, right, Raquel?
I did. The
Awesome.
fine folks at Reddit sort of figured out how to get author copies over the Canadian borders. So I do have my hot little hands on some hardbacks now. So I'm pretty happy about it. And thank you for plugging my stuff. But yeah, I have a family day. And as you know, I reserved this day just for my family. But I had to be here for you because, you know, you're a good friend. And yeah, congratulations. You're a sweetheart of a family. I will.
Right.
Have a great rest of the night.
night.
Have a great family night. Take care.
Bye. So nice
Love you, number
meeting
one.
you.
Bye.
Good.
Yeah, so Raquel's 3 hours behind us, I guess. Yep. So it's family night. So you got to hang out with family, right? Family's awesome. So that's their
2 hours
family night.
behind
So.
you, yeah.
2 hour or 2 hours behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What time is that in Arizona? Just kidding. That's an inside joke.
Same.
Oh, Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, never ending story.
Greatness.
These are all great movies.
Good job, the Boz. Yeah.
Crom.
Crom.
Yeah. Planet of the Apes. One of my all-time favorites. In my top 5 or 6.
What's the most
all-time
underrated sword and sorcery film? Retro.
It is. It's Sword.
Sword and the Sorcerer.
Sword and
looks
Sorcerer.
like.
Yes. Sword and
Lee
the Sorcerer.
Horsley. Lee Horsley's in that.
I'm trying to remember if I've seen that one. I think have I seen that one? I think I've seen that
before
movie.
he played Matt Houston. Lee Horsley.
Most likely everybody's seen it. They just don't remember.
Yeah.
You
it was actually 82, right? Something like that.
82, yeah.
83.
Yeah, I believe so. 81 or 82.
It was well regarded at the time. So people, I mean, it wasn't like laughed at. It was people liked it. I remember right.
Well, that was in the middle
smaller
of the
budget.
81, right?
Okay, yeah.
That was the middle of the D&D craze.
The thing about
Richard
this,
Lynch.
Yeah. He's fantastic. The thing is that there's a 3 bladed sword, and that's the key element in that movie. That's kind of ridiculous, but it's definitely
But you get a closer shave.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
well, funny aside is the very first Saturday Night Live commercial was a skit making fun of razor blades that would have like 5 or 3, 4 or 5 blades in them. Now like my razor blade has like 4 and 3, so it's like that turned out to be true, and it's like the very first SNL spoof. They used to do the Bassomatic and all those fun, spoof commercials or Bagel Glass, with Dan Aykroyd. But the first one is actually razors. But I guess I'm assuming I've seen this because
well, if you get a chance, it's right here on YouTube. You can definitely see a free version on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
And it's funny, but it's also kind of cool if you like sword and sorcery movies from the 80s.
Yeah. It's a big thing for a while.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. I just love those movies as well because they're usually low budget, and again they tried to make a story out of out of what they had.
Yeah, with the special effects, there's no CGI; it's all practical. And
then the guy he went on to play Matt Houston. Remember that show, Matt Houston?
How do you know all this stuff? How do you know all this stuff?
It was just on TV. Everybody knows it, doesn't it?
Okay, quick poll. What is your favorite sword and sorcerer movie? And then to Mark and Clobby as well. I'm putting everybody on the spot.
You're putting everyone on the spot. Yeah.
For me, it's definitely Conan. Conan is it. Conan the Barbarian.
I should have said you can't say Conan because it's
okay. Well, I'll do another one. Okay. All right.
Yeah, go non-Conan.
Okay. Maybe it is Sword and the Sorcerer because I saw this in the theater with my mom, and so it has special memories for me. If not, it's the third runner up would be Barbarians, which was
Barbarians.
yeah. It
Oh,
well, it
wow.
was
With the two twins?
yes,
The
yes,
Paul twins?
yes. Because
Wow.
I saw that with my mom too, and we laughed so hard during that movie. There are lots of shenanigans in
It
that
sounds like your
movie.
mom is a really cool person.
Oh, she's so cool. Super, super cool.
My mother would not go with me to anything
Well,
like that.
not only that, she's a time traveler. There's no way you're old enough to have seen that movie in the theater.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, no, I'm old enough.
Oh, come on now.
You look like you're in your 20s, so
Oh,
You
wow.
do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
So
gotta
not
be.
in my 20s.
Wow.
Mark,
I mean, I'm not even kidding. The whole time I'm going, hey, she must have went and watched these old. There's no way. When you said you went to the theater, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm
Oh,
serious.
yeah, no, well, for sure. I was born in 1970, so,
oh
math.
wow. Holy cow.
There's no way, my dear. I can't believe you.
Wow. You
gotta be
are
making that.
you drinking like the blood of virgins or something?
You might be a Time Lord.
Did you
You
sell
regenerate,
your
right?
soul
She's probably just a
to
Time Lord.
Klobby?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mark,
Well, thank you.
Mark, do you have
Well,
Inconceivable. Inconceivable.
there we go. Klobby played that one. Yeah.
I
Oh,
did
that's
not.
so cool.
we've
I'm
embarrassed
just-
we've embarrassed the poor girl, so let's go.
Yeah,
go to
come
Mark.
on.
Yeah.
First, I'd
yeah,
like to
so-
say that MMM said something very nice, though. He says,
Yeah.
I'm
We
blessed
gotta
to
read
have
this.
found this community. It's hard, if not impossible, to find a crew of dedicated, educated, generally friendly people. You always make my day. Man, I tell you what, you just keep swinging, buddy. You hang in there. And I'm glad to hear that. I know this is Mark shouting me to take over, buddy, but
No, go
he's
for
been
it.
hanging
go
out
for
with
it.
both of our channels, and he's a good friend of both of our channels. And MMM, dude, everybody's pulling for you, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
just so
fighting, buddy.
people know, MMM is in hospice right now, and
Yeah.
he's put that in the chat, so I assume that's okay to say. But yeah, we
Yeah.
just that's a beautiful message, and from such a nice person. So yeah, we're pulling for you, and that's really heartfelt and really, really touching, and much appreciated. So hopefully we can bring you some fun tonight and some enjoyment. Hopefully, I think we're doing that. So. But God
Glad.
bless you, and thank you for
Yeah,
that.
buddy.
Really, really, really nice
All the way over
comment. So
on the
thank
other
you.
side of the planet, also.
Yeah. So thank you for highlighting that. Yeah, we sometimes the chat flies through, and we just don't want to miss a really
Look
really
who's
nice message by that. Oh, 70s.
70s.
Hey, 70s. You want me to shoot you a link if you have time? You probably have work tomorrow or something, but
Hail
if you want to stop
70s.
in for a few minutes,
Yeah.
just give me a thumbs up. But if you can't, it's all good too. All good too. But I hate imposing when people stop up in the chat. But also, yeah, if you can swing by even for a few minutes. Oh, here he goes. He says, "Link me," so I shall link.
Mark,
I shall link.
it's a pleasure
Oh, this-
to be on your show. So I think you can skip the apologies. I think.
Oh well, I don't want to
It's-
impose on people. So yeah.
Well, while he's doing the link, Klobby, do you
Yeah.
have a favorite sword and sorcerer movie?
I mean, not really. Obviously, since I can't name Conan, I've never really thought about it. To be perfectly
You
honest,
can.
I love those. I mean, that would probably be it. But I love those
There's-
Sinbad movies that
there's-
Raquel's been
there's-
talking about.
Ooh, yes.
There's Cull.
Yeah,
Don't forget. There's the
Yor.
Beastmaster. There's the Beastmaster,
I
and
love Beastmaster.
and
Mhm.
I would say that Highlander is definitely a sword and sorcerer.
oh well, the first Highlander's pretty
Okay.
good. But yeah,
Yeah. My
Sinbad.
personal favorite is
Mhm.
anything with Steve Reeves.
Steve Reeves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Steve
Wow.
Reeves. Yeah, I mean he started the whole thing.
Well, if
Yeah.
I was going to answer that, if I pull out obviously Conan and say pull out all the Conan,
There's also
Harryhausen.
Deathstalker too. But go ahead.
yeah, because
Oh
those
no,
are all
you could definitely
Jason.
say Harryhausen because
yeah, Jason the
Yeah.
Argonauts, one of my and Clash of the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
original one. Legend, yeah, Lisa Legend. I was going to say that with Tom Cruise, Klobby's favorite actor.
That's amazing. I love
I
that
like
movie.
Legend.
Actor.
And the other one with Matthew Broderick, Lady Hawk.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
was a
Lady
really good
Hawk
movie.
is really good.
oh right.
Lady
And
Hawk, that's
Richard
Rutger
Donner
Hauer, I
directed
think.
it, but Rutger
Is
Hauer,
Rutger-
the great Leo McKern is
Yeah.
in it, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Matthew Broderick. And I never did like it much. I took a date to see it in '85 and never saw it again.
I did like it,
She
but I
liked
wasn't
it,
on a
though.
date. Yeah. And of course, you know, this is animation, but Dungeons and Dragons, which is going to be a movie now, the cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon. I know that's not technically not Sword and Sorcery.
I think Lady Hawk had a really lousy soundtrack to it, if I remember right. Oops, sorry.
Well, we double added.
Evening. Evening.
Hey, 70s.
Hail 70s.
Hi, guys.
70s.
Thank you for stopping by. Have you met Retro Nerd Girl
Retro
before?
Nerd Girl? Yeah.
Probably in the chat, but I don't
In
know
the
if
chat, I think, but I don't
yeah.
think we've streamed, so it's my pleasure, I have to say. All my
Mine too,
pleasure.
as well.
Good to meet you here. Yeah. So, how much have I missed? Sorry, I've been distracted tonight.
Oh, it's all.
But you've been
good,
on for
yeah.
2 hours, haven't you? Oh my God.
You popped up just in time to be in the hot seat with the question of the hour. What is your favorite sword and sorcery?
Can't say Zardoz.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
How British of you!
No, nice.
I think
Bring out your dead.
I think Highlander was mentioned, and if I was to pick, I would pick that one. Although it's not necessarily a traditional fantasy sword and sorcery movie as such. I'm quite fond of. It's not necessarily a great movie, but I'm quite fond of the Canon films Hercules.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Canon films Hercules.
Yeah, like Lou Ferrigno. You know.
Oh, what son of a gun!
Does he have a sword in that? No.
Big Louie.
He's got a fairly large sword. I don't know if it's made of metal or not, but
He's got big guns.
The only deaf actor ever to play Hercules.
I know. It's
what's that?
Sorry. What? It is hard to see past the first Conan, though. I mean, that is a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
just brilliant movie. So,
look, you got about Battlestar Galactica women there, the Ovions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been my genre, really. I'm more of a hard science fiction guy. But you know,
because soft science fiction sucks.
I think there's a sword and sorcery movie probably for everybody, whether it's Conan or Highlander or Beastmaster or any Harryhausen or, you know, I mentioned my favorite was Steve Reeves' Hercules because he sort of started the whole thing. You know, so
hey, Retro. Before we get too far from sword and sorcery, we mentioned Richard Lynch. Wasn't that guy always a bad guy? I mean, that guy. I met him. You look. I was walking by him at Dragon Con one year, and we're walking by him, looking at him in the flesh, and going, "I'm afraid he's going to kill me." We kept the running joke. Like, oh, watch out! He's scary. Who's going to kill it? Nice guy. By the walk by him, and I kind of told him about that. I said, man, I was so tempted to ask him, did you ever not play a bad guy? I mean, ever? But, you know, I mean, everything he was on in the 60s and 70s.
Well, he
80s.
made a lot of good Canon films like Invasion USA. And stuff like that. He was a regular in the Canon pictures.
Do not mention Invasion USA. I got to tell that story then, since this is the 5-minute substream. So I'm one of my buddy Vinny. His mom was away that weekend, and we're in high school. And a couple of guys came over with their dates, and there was vodka involved. And Vinny's girlfriend, she said, "I bet you can't chug that, and don't ever do this at home. Don't ever chug anything." That was like a fifth of vodka, and I hadn't really had that much. You know, never was a big drinker. You know, other than with our family, you always had wine. You know, the European side, you always had a little bit of wine, but never, gotten drunk before. And so I said, "Oh yeah, I can chug this. I'm a big tough guy." So Invasion USA is on, and I chugged this, and I remember I can still see this if I kind of close my eyes and spin around on that top over there, and they're in the shopping mall, and guys, who's spinning the room? Vinny, stop spinning the room. They remember I was yelling at them, like, stop spinning the room. The room literally started to spin around.
Worse than that. Oh,
yeah, well, it got worse.
Yeah.
So, safety tip. I woke up in the in the laundry room, and there's like the kitty litter is like next to me, and I'm I'm sleeping where the cat would sleep. And they said I went out to get my sleeping bag that was in the car that night because I was hanging out, planned to stay over. And it took me like like an hour to crawl back and forth. Well, this is getting, we don't want to get too much into the weeds, but yeah, don't ever chug anything. And I finally finished watching that movie, I think last year. For years I had an aversion to vodka and Invasion USA.
And
but
were you immediately sick afterwards?
Yeah, again,
threw up all over again.
Threw up all over again. But yeah, Chuck Norris. Yeah, but yeah, the vodka. Yeah, don't ever chug vodka.
No, it's horrible. Yeah, I remember my earliest experiences similar to you, and you think, what the hell's going on here? You suddenly break out in a cold sweat, your stomach starts heaving, the room's spinning, no matter what you do, it won't stop spinning. Yeah.
Spinning. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go back and do it again and again. No. Richard Lynch was in a lot of canon films. I think he was in The Sword and the Sorcerer, I think, as well, wasn't he? As well as Invasion USA. He was in a bunch of those.
Yeah, he was in Beastmaster as well.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He might have been.
That's Rip Torn. Sorry, I keep thinking.
Right,
I keep mixing them up.
One with one of the greatest names in acting history, Rip Torn.
Rip Torn,
great name.
Yeah.
So the sword and the sorcerer is almost too well named, isn't it? Really, I mean, you couldn't name a better sword and sorcery movie than
right.
Yeah.
They've got that one
Covers
covered.
it all, right? Yeah. Yeah.
What about that
Beastmaster, Mark Singer? Oh, that was so good. Yeah.
What about Sword of the Valiant?
Oh wow, I
was
love
a
that
Sean
movie.
Connery Canon Films production.
Yes, and I forgot who played Gawain. I think it was John Wayne's son. I forgot his name.
Patrick Wayne.
Patrick Wayne.
Patrick Wayne. Yeah.
Was it Patrick or was it the other one? Miles O'Keefe.
Miles O'Keefe.
Miles O'Keefe. Yeah.
Bo Derek's Tarzan.
Yes.
Yeah. And Atar the Flying Eagle.
Yes. Oh my god, I love that movie. Actually,
I think he just died. He just died recently.
Huh?
I think he just died recently.
Did Miles O'Keefe die?
I think it was him.
Maybe.
Really?
Trevor Howard.
I will go it and find out.
Trevor Howard was in it. Peter Cushing.
How much?
John Rhys Davies, who made loads of canon films.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, great.
Have you ever seen the sequel to this? Death Stalker 2 was
Death
made.
Stalker 2, yes.
It was made like as a fourth wall breaking like parody of these kind of movies. It wasn't even taking it seriously. It was trying to be funny. This movie was trying to be serious. This first one.
Yeah.
You seen that one? It's crazy.
Oh, Lana Clarkson. She was killed by Spectre, wasn't she? That was the actress that was killed by Spectre.
Phil Spector.
Phil Spector, yeah. And of course, they were going down Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Miles O'Keefe is still with us.
He is. I looked it up.
Yeah.
You know how much movie that?
There he is.
You know how much O'Keefe is in that movie? Miles O'Keefe.
I can see four. Was there three brothers? Did he have three brothers? Because I could see 4 Miles and Miles.
I was stealing an MST3K joke, but you know.
That's yeah. We found out he's still alive. Brian Hepburn. He was, in my opinion, he was the guy the best Tarzan. It's just in terms of the look. He didn't have any lines, but that dude looked like Tarzan. You know, like they had a blonde Tarzan. They've had chubby Tarzans. They had skinny Tarzan. That dude, he really looked like Tarzan.
Right. He had the look, I guess.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this one. Conquest. I don't know that
looks
one.
good though.
Looks good. Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh, okay. I've never seen that one.
Who's getting conquered though? That's the question.
The crazy
they may have
description.
A different title or something.
Yeah.
Is that one with a
whoa,
that's got a different title.
Yep.
Iron Master.
Yeah, but be careful with some of these foreign posters.
Oh boy.
Oh, there they are, the Barbarians.
There's the Barbarians,
the Paul brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom and I would laugh so hard in watching this movie. They were funny. They were funny.
One of these brothers was on an episode of The People's Court. He got arrested for breaking a car window with his fist.
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
And he was talking to the judge, and he said, "I didn't mean to. My arms were just so big. I was going through the open part of the window, and I broke the window. And the judge went, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, dear. You sure
Yeah.
he wasn't arrested for crimes against acting?
They were also in some taxi movie that had the guy Wojo from
Really? From Barney Miller?
Barney Miller, yeah.
Wow.
So that's
Max Gale?
Max Gale, that's the guy. Yeah.
Wow. He was in another movie other than something other Barney Miller? Wow. He was good on Barney Miller.
He was, yeah.
No Conquest.
There's Adventures of Hercules. Which one is that, though? Is that the second of the... No, it's the first of the canon ones. It's the link below.
The Lou Ferrigno
There was
one.
the two Lou Ferrignos, yeah. But what was funny about those was that they filmed the first one, and then they said to Lou Ferrigno, "We want to do some reshoots, so we want to get you to come back for a week to do some pickup shots." But what they didn't tell him was they were actually filming a complete second movie. They were just going to pay him for the pickup shots.
Wow.
And they didn't
That's
find
nice.
out until they released it. They'd made a complete second movie.
Wow.
out of those shots.
Did Richard
Sounds like the
Lester
Sound
direct
Kinds.
that movie?
Sounds like the Psykinds, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at with Richard Lester. Yeah.
Yeah. Monkey
70s. I
Jeeves.
met Lou Ferrigno when I was in high school. I was like the 10th
yeah.
caller on the radio station. So I'm 6. I used to be 6'2". I used to lift weights and I shrank a little bit. His shoulders. So imagine a 6'1" guy standing up. His shoulders were about here.
Oh, geez.
He's 6'4" now. He was almost 6'6" when I met him. I shook his hand. It was like shaking a catcher's mitt.
Jeez.
Dude was just humongous.
Yeah. Incredible.
and
yeah.
Couldn't hear and stone deaf. He
Lovely
hates when
guy,
people call
though.
him deaf.
Lovely guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy.
I've
That's
never
nice.
seen
Glad
this
you
one,
met.
the Hawk
the
the
Slayer?
Slayer. I never saw that.
I've heard
one.
of that one. I don't know if I've seen it, but
All right,
trying to
that one
remember if I
then.
said.
yeah, I've
Jack
seen that poster a
Palance.
bunch of times. Jack Palance.
You are my number one guy. Now don't forget, you're lucky. Jack.
Remember that MST3K? One of their inventions and exchanges was they made a mask that let you talk like that. Jack Palance all the time. Please pass the salts.
Jack Palance.
Hey,
was-
common nerd. Hey, I was dropping by to say hi. Got to crash. Yep. Thank you very much. Yep.
All right, buddy.
Oh, hi,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Jack
Common-
Palance.
He's very uncommon.
Yes.
Jack Palance was very good in City Slickers.
Oh,
One of the
that's
Academy
yeah.
Award-
yeah.
Got the Academy Award for it, and then he did push-ups.
I
Remember?
did one-armed push-ups,
One on-
and he was like
And that
in his
was-
70s or something.
And that was my first date with the missus, City Slickers, and thankfully it was a
Oh,
good
okay.
movie. And
Good movie.
as you can guess, that was a successful first date. So, so we're still together.
You know what, Mark?
close.
One of these days you must take her out again for the evening.
Yeah, that was the last
Take
time.
her on the
Yeah.
second date one day, man.
Second date. Yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
Mark's thinking, but that's money I could spend on more toys.
Action
Toys.
figures. Yeah.
My number one.
If the first date was perfect, why spoil it with the second one? Just go straight to the
Yeah.
marriage thing.
Oh my God, Monkey Jeebus. Jeez.
Oh,
That could be dangerous if you lip read what you said. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Ferrigno was a very strong guy too. He was in the World's Strongest Man competition, and he won the bending the iron bar part of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Did he put it between his teeth first?
And I put it over his head and just went.
Over his head,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That guy's really proud to have been in Hawk the Slayer. If that's the guy, like 40 years later or something. Looks like it might be too.
Yeah.
Looks
yeah.
like it might be the case.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
the
cool.
story.
Yeah, Hawk the Hunter. Is that the new one? Is that the remake or the sequel? Rob Altus, what's up, brother? Question: What did Mark? What did Mark? What? Oh, get to do the 2-armed push-ups. Hey now, Mark can do that right now. He just didn't want to brag.
Oh, Mark was quite ripped in high school.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many
Didn't he say he benched like
decades.
400 and something.
No, 330 was my best benching.
330.
But I weighed 185 at the time, so I guess it's a good ratio.
That's a good, yeah.
I can bench press 330 ounces.
Yeah,
Is that metric or?
Ounces.
millimeters.
330 grams.
Well, yeah, I used to get picked on. You were talking about bullying. It seemed like the kids that were picking on me suddenly stopped picking on me when I was, working out. It's a strange phenomenon.
It's usually the way it worked back then. That's the way it worked back then. It's pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, so maybe we won't mess with Mark now. He's even though he does play Dungeons and Dragons, looks like I don't want to get a weight dropped on my head. Yep. So Eric says, "Get yep."
Well, they didn't mess with Jack
seen
Palance either.
With the one-arm push-ups. Yeah,
I may well have seen Hawk the Slayer, but I don't remember it. I must have seen it in VHS in the 80s or something, but I don't recall it.
Was Clobby, was Jack Palance in the original Night Stalker, or am I misremembering?
The old TV show?
Yeah.
No, but he did play on the Dan Curtis Dracula film that was made by the guy who made Dark Shadows. It was a TV Dracula, or some kind of TV Dracula or something like that. He played Dracula.
Night Stalker was originally,
but it wasn't on Kolchak.
Was a movie of the week.
Yeah, in the original Kolchak film, the first one, it was two movies of the week, and then it was a TV show. Yeah, but
I thought he was in one.
I don't think he was on there. Wasn't in the first. First one was a vampire, but I think it was different guy, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be mistaken. I don't remember him being in the first Night Stalker, but now I'm probably wrong. But I love Night Stalker. But those movies were great, and the TV show was great. Just didn't last long enough.
Yep. And the fun thing too, remember, growing up in this time period too, you had video stores, right? So I must have watched this movie because we would just go in the video store and anything with swords in it, we'd swords and sorcery. I'm forgetting. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
I got a lot of them.
And but that was the great thing about you go with your buddies to the video store and you'd walk around, you'd argue about what movie you're gonna rent. You're gonna rent for a while.
Oh no!
But that was a lot of fun. Like
it's an ITC, so yeah, it's British ITC. Lou Grade and ITC made a bunch of great shows and a bunch of great TV shows in the 70s.
Palance was also in the stupid gore movies. They made two of those adapted from those John Norton books. 70s, those gore movies. There were two of them.
I remember them. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
They're really bad.
Yeah, not my thing.
No, but they made two movies adapted from those very odd books from the 60s and 70s. I know you know about the John Norman gore books.
Yeah, I'm not big. Yeah, I mean I've seen them, but
yeah, well, I'd read them either.
I can't remember anything about them, to be honest. Apart from the name. But ITC made so much great stuff. TV shows and movies in the 70s. I think they were things like the Persuaders and the Champions and stuff like that. Yeah. They made loads of great TV shows. Protectors, yeah. That was a good one.
Now, who remembers this TV show? This is one of my favorites with one of my buddies, Brian. Shout out to Brian if he's out there. Wizards and Warriors.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
Are you more into movies, or do you like any retro TV as well? Retro nerd girl? You got a lot of movies. Do you do anything about TV?
I haven't. I just started getting into TV again, but I do have some favorites of my own, but I haven't gotten into like dissecting any movies of. Any TV shows because they do. I mean, it's a long form content. I have to do a lot more research than the movies would be, obviously. But I'm dipping my toe in that arena very gently.
Gotcha.
But cool. I will be, exploring it more.
Excellent.
Mrs. has a question. Do we need to be present for the giveaway? Well, yes, because we're going to do the spin the wheel, but I think we'll do it in about 10 minutes. How's that, Mrs.?
I just came in at the right time then, didn't I?
Stay away, yes.
If you're on the panel, you can't.
You're on the panel, you're ineligible.
I'm in the chat as well.
But if you're a guest, like Rachel Nerdgirl, she's a guest.
I should have stayed in the chat. This show, I had never seen it before, but I noticed it's got Jeff Conaway in it from Greece.
Yeah.
Nicky.
Oh, and from Taxi,
and Babylon 5.
This is one I got to do a watch party.
Who played Jeff Conaway? Of course, played. And John Travolta swapped roles from stage to movie in Greece.
Okay, so did anybody except Clobby ever see? Because I know Clobby saw this when things were rotten.
That was like mid 70s.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a Mel Brooks produced. Mel Brooks, right, Clobby?
Yep, it was Mel Brooks. Yeah.
Robin
Produced,
Hood,
anyway.
a farcical Robin Hood.
Right, it was a Robin Hood parody
with
Rotten.
Dick Gautier and Dick Van Patten.
Dick Van Patten. That's right.
There's a couple of dicks.
Yep.
And thank you, Eric K, for he says, "Look away for 1 second. The bots show up." And this Wizards and Warriors, it's very campy. It might be everyone's cup of tea. Hungry Boy, obviously, we're the same taste.
Are you
We
kidding
liked
me?
This.
And it's just
Yeah.
hysterical. And I finally bought it. I think it was one of those made-to-order DVDs, from
Probably
the studio.
on YouTube.
Yeah, but it was just really, really funny. Just only about 10 episodes, I think. Or
Look, this is where things are rotten. Look,
If
Where?
if
right there. There you go.
yeah,
No, son of a gun.
if Wikipedia is to be believed, it was replaced by the Bionic Woman.
Which one? When things were
When
rotten.
things were rotten, yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was around that time. It was 75ish.
I don't think I've ever. It would never have been shown in the UK. So
Yeah, it was not particularly well received. I remember watching a few of them. Did not last long.
yeah.
Well, wasn't Jennifer Lawrence in that? Because that was like the first.
Yeah, she started it.
Yeah, the first one. Yep. Thank you, Eric. Yep. But yeah, this was a fun, and this is one I'd record on VHS and we'd watch. We try to catch it every weekend, and when you're playing D&D too. This was just so popular.
It lasted long, huh?
No, it was how many episodes was it? It was, did I say 8 or 10 episodes?
Half a season.
Nick.
It says.
I have to check this out, definitely.
13.
Yeah, you could probably find it easily.
Hail
Might even
Nick.
be on YouTube. Nick Weiser, what's up, brother?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick. Thank you for swinging by. Yep.
I've got a
So,
bone to pick with you. I counted, Nick, and there's only 31 flavors. So you've got to answer. You got some.
No, there's 32. Because
here we go. Since Nick stopped by, we got to play this. There's 32. Yep.
Yeah, Nick. Nick's a real name. Nick's your buddy. Nick's the kind of guy you can trust. Kind of guy you can drink a beer with. Kind of guy who doesn't mind if you puke in his car. Nick. Oh, vomit. I'm sorry.
So that's one of my all-time favorite movies. Sure Thing. It's if I was on a desert island, that would be one of the movies I would bring.
Oh,
That would be
really?
one of
Wow.
them.
What was the
I
Val
love that
Kilmer movie?
Oh, so good. Maybe
the Val
someday an
Kilmer-
emergency will come up. Yeah, but
Yes.
What was the Val Kilmer movie where somebody asked him if his name was Nick Rivers, and the German female lead said, "Nick, is he a common English name?" And he said, "My dad thought it up one morning when he was shaving."
Top Secret.
Top Secret.
Top Secret. Oh, it's great. Yeah,
one.
Top Secret's also. Yep.
Yeah.
So 8 episodes of Wizards and Warriors. Yep, only 8.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's two more than the Police Squad got, and that's the greatest comedy ever.
Yeah.
We think we know how he did it. Oh, Howie, you were going to pick that up?
Howie did it. I'm
Howie
sorry.
couldn't have done it. He was on vacation.
Howie couldn't have done it. Oh, you got me for a second there.
Oh, Julia Duffy.
Now you make me want to go dig up my Police Squad DVD, but I can't find it. Ugh.
You can't find it. Yep.
I said I got it somewhere.
You got it somewhere. Yep. Oh, I closed all my tabs. Yep. There's
Marvelous
there's the
yesterday.
picture. That's the balloon there.
That's the balloon.
Yeah.
It's a weather balloon, Mulder.
Yeah. I want to believe. Yep.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, let me get the wheel over here. So if anyone,
Time.
the wheel time here. So let's get all the names. And hopefully I can figure out how to do this. I've done this one time before. Let me turn off the bookmark so it's bigger. So I guess what we do here, we put on all the names. So if you want to enter for the contest to win a 3D printed object, and don't forget the thing hand is one of them, even though it's not spinning around. Let me switch the camera back here. So let me
70s. It's the thing from Wednesday, not the Ever Loving Blue Eyed.
Okay.
yeah. But
Just so you know.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want you to win it and go, damn it.
I'm not winning with it. I'm in the panel.
No, I was kidding about that. I think that's up to Mark.
If
obviously.
I won it, I would give it up in favor of somebody else and let them win it.
Yep.
I'm a generous chap.
You are a generous chap. Oh, by the way, while Mark's doing that, I found out last week that I'm Scottish as well. I had an ancestor in the 1700s named Smelly.
Smelly.
And she married an Irishman, and they moved to the United States.
We
and he
might
became,
well be
Chief
related.
Justice of the Supreme Court of the state of Pennsylvania.
Chief Justice Smelly. You know what? We could be related then. You know that we could be cousins.
I would consider that an honor. Can I speak
me
with the
too,
accent?
mate.
Does that allow me to speak with the accent?
Yes, it would indeed. As long as it's the Scottish one and not the Irish part.
Actually, I can't do Scottish. I can only do Irish.
Diddly potatoes. There you go. That's the Irish. Well, no, it's great that you can go that far back in your family history.
Gone back to 1490 in England. And her name was Alice Culpeper, which to an American sounds like a Southern name, like Mrs. Culpeper.
Yeah,
but apparently it's English.
Kind of a lot of them did end up in the South, so yeah. But,
so if anyone wants to enter the contest, I guess put your name in the chat and say enter, I guess. And then I shall put
which one or ones are you?
Well, you can pick which one you want, and then the from there, and then also the Wednesday one I was showing before. You could pick as well.
So there's Mrs. Dadman
thing
walking.
hand. So Mrs. Dadman walking. Yep. Let me copy. Of course, copy all. I'm going to stop my chat.
Still here?
Get all these. She is here, amazingly.
Cool.
Right, spin it now. Spin it now.
Spin it now. Yeah.
I tried, Mrs. Dadman working. I tried for you. I tried.
Bloody hell.
And don't forget, we got obviously need your address to ship it to. So if you if you don't want to give your address out, I can't send it to you. But that's the only caveat. Yep. Thank you everyone for being here. Glad to do this and to celebrate 500 tonight and having a great time with everyone. Yep.
And having a new friend. Retro, I hope you'll come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah,
we didn't scare you off.
Oh no, you guys are awesome.
We're not nearly as scary. Yeah. We're not nearly as scary as we seem. I mean, who's afraid of nerds anyway? Like, you never heard, oh, look out, Scott's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
So I picked up a bunch of stuff in a thrift store the other day, as I do. I got the double VHS Braveheart.
Oh wow!
Almost perfect condition cover as well.
Wow.
Nice. 99 cents. Now I haven't got a VHS player, but it does look good next to the Steelbook.
The shipping would kill me. Otherwise, I'd send you one. I'm about to get a new one. I'd send you one of mine. As a Scotsman, what do you think about that movie? And what do you think about his accent?
I actually think his accent's pretty good. I don't have any problems with his accent. Everyone knows historically that whole large swathes of it are nonsense, but I don't really care about that. I just love it as a movie, and I love the action and the emotion, and it's just nice to have. It was nice to have something Scottish on the international stage in that way. Everyone going to see a film that was. And William Wallace is a real person, and he did do many of the things. He never slept with a French princess, but he did do many of the things in the movie. So, and he was betrayed in the way it was portrayed in the movie. So that was true. A very important guy historically, because he was the first commoner to really strike against the feudal system in that way in the UK, well, Scotland, England, whatever. Because he wasn't anybody. He was just, but he did, something did happen to his wife, and somewhat in the way it was as it was portrayed, and he just went on the rampage. But he was just a commoner, and that's why the barons of Scotland often turned on him, because he wasn't one of them. They were all Norman knights anyway, or descended from Normans. So, like Robert the Bruce had large amounts of land in England, which they all had. So they all stood to lose that land if they rebelled against Edward. So most of them, that's why they were craven in the end. It was really a people's uprising to start with. So that part of it's fairly accurate. I think Bruce was portrayed a little bit more cowardly than he might have been in reality, because he was, if you read real histories of Robert the Bruce, who really picked up that fight after William Wallace. He was a pretty strong knight, a pretty daring guy, and a lot of guts as well. So I don't think he was quite the cowardly or wavering guy that he was portrayed as in Braveheart. But yeah, it's great, fun movie. Who doesn't like people wielding big swords and chopping up bad guys?
They're slabbing VHS movies now, 70, so that looked like it was in pretty good shape. So, I guess it's more money if it's in the shrink wrap, but believe it or not,
I've had a few shrink wrapped ones recently, but not that one. That one had been opened, unfortunately. But it's the cover is still in perfect condition.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
For 99
I guess you can't
cents.
slab one that's opened. I guess that's the way it works. I don't know anything
but
about it.
I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is in town that's putting them in the local thrift store. But every week I go in, there's a new bunch of stuff, and I've picked up some really great stuff in there recently for dirt cheap. Really some great nerdy stuff.
Fun place to go. Yeah,
I love doing that.
Try to hit our local thrift store. And I always walk out with some great stuff. Cheap prices hit.
In the same store a few months ago, I got this. It's the Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
is that the last?
Yep, I still have that.
Was it DVD or is that VHS?
VHS.
I got that for again 99 cents.
Wow.
And it's in the plastic.
I still have.
Is that the is that the one? The last? Is that the? That's probably. Is that the last?
That was one of the last ones they did
with the original.
That was the last set they made on VHS.
Yeah, with the original, without the special editions, right? Yeah.
It's THX. I don't know if they're.
I don't know. I think those are special editions.
Hunt shot
because
first on that one.
Anything that's got THX, anything that's got THX in it, I think is a special edition.
Unfortunately, it's special edition, but still, I got it.
But still, looks good on the shelf.
Yeah, sure does.
Oh yeah, Larry says, "Hey, shrink wrap it." I guess you can. Yep,
it's pretty
very cool. Yeah, the artwork is nice. Yep. So let me put this. Everyone just explain again. You can pick any one of these plus the thing, which is printed in these kind of colors. The thing hand from Wednesday. Great new series. So I guess we've got right now we've got on the wheel. I've got, and I don't want to miss anyone too. So I've got Fanti, Steven, Lisa, Brian, MMM, Rob, Mrs. Dadman, Das Wolfen, and JT Kirk. So I guess we'll do going once, going twice. If anyone else in the chat wants to enter, please throw your name in because I want to make sure I got everyone that want to enter. And thanks again, everyone for being here. Special shout out for Retro Nerd Girl for being here for the first time. It's great to have you on the panel.
Oh,
Stuart Mitchell's here.
Rod's
Yep, Dollyhead braces. Yep. So
Larry.
I didn't see. Oh, Eric K. Yeah, we're putting Eric K in here. Yeah.
Eric K. Yes.
Let's see. Look away for 1 minute, right? Okay. Who else? And Rod Thunderheart. Okay. Yep.
Yep. And Larry's here, and
I just wanted. Some people might not want to enter, so I just want to make sure I get everyone who wants to. So run. Yeah, only if you want to. Yep. Rod T. I'm just gonna put Rod T. Well, I'll put Thunderheart.
Hunger Boy.
That's a cool.
Of course, he's too far away.
Okay.
While he's typing, retro, you mentioned Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get along really, really well. I've been doing Kung Fu since you were about 8.
Oh boy.
I thought you meant the TV show.
I am.
Me too.
Kane. I said that to Dean Cain when I met him. I went and said, "I am Kane," and he actually laughed as if he had never heard it before.
Grasshopper.
Great.
Oh no, MMM. I'm glad to send you something, MMM. So yeah, don't worry about that. I was saying U.S. only, but I'm sure I can figure out a way to get it to Mexico or, for you especially, buddy. So no problem.
Germany, actually.
No, he said he's living in Mexico, I think, right?
Oh, I thought it was Mexico. I thought it was Germany. Okay.
Yeah, he says he's German but lives in Mexico.
He's living in the German part of Mexico.
That's not too far.
Oh, Lisa says.
So he's having fajitas with sauerkraut.
That's
Lisa
right.
says, "Oh, take her off." Yeah. Oh, so you don't have a PO box, Lisa? No problem. Yeah, I'd love to send you one, but yeah, some people might not want to give out their address, which I totally understand. So I'm sorry because I know you really wanted
everybody?
a chance to win. But
Sorry,
if you do have a PO box, or well, I'll take your name off. But I think there's a way in Canada. I know you can send it just to the post office. I think there's a way to just send it to the post office.
I've got a
Lisa in
PO
Canada?
box.
Well, in Canada, Raquel was telling me you could send it like to your local post office with just the person's name, and the person can go pick it up and care of.
Yeah,
And I think you can do that in the U.S. too, but I'm not
used
sure.
to be able to do it. I don't know if you still can, but used to be able to.
Yeah, like send it to your local. Yeah, no PO. That's okay, Lisa. No worries.
Sorry, Lisa.
Yep. But otherwise, I can't. Yeah. Well, you want to come here and pick it up? Just kidding. But all right, so we'll do a going once, going twice. Anyone else? Last call at the bar. Anyone else who wants to enter? I'm going to shuffle these up a few times.
Lisa, if you're anywhere close to Vegas, I could put my name in and you come pick it up here.
Yeah, put it. Like, leave it in the park somewhere. Yeah. Well, Lisa, get a 3D printer if you need help. Any help with 3D printing? I'm glad to, give you some 3D printing help. All right, so let's spin this wheel. So I guess where do I spin here? Where's the spin? I haven't been up that long, right? All right, guys, help me out here. Where's the spin the wheel? There's a sort advanced. Do I have to save it?
I don't know.
Oh, I just click on it.
You just did it.
There, I just clicked on it. Yeah, it didn't say like
it's fixed. It's rigged.
It's rigged. Yep. So is that?
It's going to
is that no one?
No
with
one.
The no one. What a cheater!
We have a winner. Yeah.
No,
so
we don't.
We're gonna remove that one. That's the color yellow.
What
just
the hell?
Yeah, we have a winner.
The color yellow won it.
Yep.
Mrs. Dadman walking and rooting for you.
The horse says, "Wee."
Oh,
yes!
Hey,
there we go.
I was rooting for him because I want him to be able to tell that story to the kids and the nurses.
Yep.
Because it'll add to your congratulations.
Do you have a way to
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
So MMM, send me.
Are we
just
connected somehow to him? Do we have his address?
I guess on Twitter. Do I have you on Twitter? But you
Are
can
you on Twitter?
Yeah. Anyway, if you looked at my link tree here, MMM.
Oh, you have to do international shipping for this.
That's all right. For him, I no problem doing that for MMM.
You could just send him the plan and get him to 3D print it himself.
70s, you weren't here, but so he's in the hospice and he's having some health.
Oh, right, okay.
But he's been bringing in his collectibles from home, and so I think he said the nurses have been bringing their kids in to see him. Which I think is really cool. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, that's nice.
And
nice at least they can have his. At least he can have his stuff with him. Yeah.
Or you have you have your Twitter at and you have an email or something in your description below, Mark, or what?
I do have, yeah. If you go to my link tree, I'll just put my email in. So I've got a Gmail, Mark D with the C 17 at gmail.com.
Cool.
So anyone can email. Yeah, I made that as a show, as a YouTube email. So you can also contact me there. So, and we'll figure out getting that to you.
Well,
and just don't tell me what you want. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And good night, Mrs. Yep.
Good night, Mrs. Dadman.
Yep. Congrats on those streams there, and thanks for being such a great friend too. So, have a good night and get some sleep. Yep.
Yes.
Get some sleep because you've been up for a while, I'm sure. Yep. So, but MMM, glad you won. Yep. So, yeah, everyone can take a look at it is a lot of fun having a 3D printer. So you can print all kinds of sci-fi stuff too. I'm almost done with the Liberator, so I've been working on that. So getting there. So Retro Nerd Girl, have you ever watched Blake 7? That's the other.
Yeah. Yes and no. I watched maybe the first 6 or 7 shows, and I couldn't get the rest of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I do know what the show is about, and I loved it. At least the beginning was what I was able to see, like the first like 6 or 7 shows. But I know they had several seasons that
4
were
seasons, yeah, 52 episodes.
wow. And yeah, I didn't get to see everything, and I did see the last show, which was really weird to see that. And
Yeah.
like so many characters changed. So I was truly lost, and I was like, okay, I'll have to make a day where I can actually like see the whole thing.
Yeah. It's on BritBox at least, and finally.
Yeah, so that's a good way to find it is BritBox. That's the reason I subbed to BritBox.
Amazon.
So BritBox had it, and they didn't have it for a long time on the American version of BritBox, which was crazy.
They didn't, then they finally got it. It's
then they
weird.
finally added Blake 7. It's pretty decent quality in terms of the video too. So it's not
as good
bad.
as you're going to get with those old prints.
Yeah. Yep, so it's not bad.
Hey,
Yep.
Brahma's here.
Hey,
buddy.
Brahma, thank you so much, buddy. Yep. Thanks for stopping by. Yep. So Blake 7 is kind of a Mike Clobberton's made me watch that, but I'm glad he did.
I mean, just because I'm insane over it doesn't mean I think anyone else is going to be. I know I'm irrational when it comes to my love of Blake 7.
Right.
I get it.
It's very, very 80s, flavored.
Yes, late 70s, early 80s with no budget.
Great BBC production values. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over there in the quarry where we're filming, Doctor Who are filming just over there.
Well,
just
Paul
Put Callie in your place, would you?
Probably not. What about you?
What about me?
Why don't you go?
You are expendable.
And you're not?
No, I'm not. I am not expendable. I'm not stupid, and I'm not going.
I think that's one of the greatest quotes of all time.
I've even seen that cons. I've seen that on bumper stickers. I wish I'd have bought it. But he once said, man, with that great line, he once said, the whole season's budget of Blake 7 wouldn't pay for the coffee breaks in one episode of Star Trek, and he was talking about the original Star Trek series. I mean, BBC had no money.
No,
when they would go to any kind of installation or something on an alien planet, you'd get permission to film at nuclear power plants, and that had to pass for an alien world and stuff, and quarries and stuff.
Quarries, always that bloody quarry.
Quarries, like that
quarry.
Yeah.
Oh, Rod Thunder, no need to excuse you. No, thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being.
Hi, Rod.
But what they did have was good writers and
great
good
writers,
performers.
great actors.
Yeah.
Great story. Yeah, love Red Dwarf, and later Red Dwarf started having some pretty decent sized budget.
They got
the 90s.
A lot more by that time. Yeah,
that's a great show.
Brilliant. Was that one a comedy?
Yeah, it's funny. It's weird because it's got really, really out there British comedy mixed in with hard science fiction. How they make it work is just unreal. I mean, they have brilliant science fiction stories with outrageous British comedy. It's the timing of the actors and everything. But yes, it is a comedy. Even has a laugh track for some weird reason.
Yep.
Yeah. That's another one that I saw some episodes of and didn't get all of it, but definitely entertaining.
Yep, I love it.
Is Blake 7 on DVD?
There are Brit copies. There's a region 2, but that's not on American DVD over here.
Okay.
And I have all the VHSs that came out in the 90s. I put them all on VHS, one per episode, 52 of them. I have all those, but they came out with a pretty nice set back in the mid 2000s that are in pretty good shape. But it's for over there, so the US doesn't even have it.
It's in PAL format, not NTSC.
Yeah, and then region 2 later. Yeah.
You have to have a PAL to NTSC converter. Or to be able
a region
to watch
2
it.
player. Yeah. Yes,
well, even then, the television has to be able to handle it. So
yeah,
sometimes TVs wouldn't be able to handle the format, even if the player can play it. So you might need a converter for that too. So
the good thing is that it's not popular enough for a horrible remake like everything else.
You Brits and your phase alternating lines.
That's right. Yes. Well,
I used to work ironically, I used to work for public broadcasting, which is how I know phase alternating lines, or as engineers call it, peace at last. But
That's why British shows on things like PBS would always look different.
Yeah.
The color would look different, and it would just look different somehow because of that conversion that had to be done.
I never watched any of those shows, even though they were on when I was working, because we do pledge drives and stuff, and I would go eat when the show was actually on, like everybody else did. So
LPB didn't get Big 7. Yeah.
They did or did not?
No, they have some other channel called 30.
I know they had Red. I know they had Red Dwarf.
They had Red Dwarf and had Doctor Who.
Yeah, I know they had Doctor Who. Yeah.
There was another channel in Baton Rouge that had it. That was also a PB, like a called 32 or something. That wasn't channel 33, but it was like a UHF. It was some kind of other channel. I can't remember.
That was a school that taught TV production, and they had
it.
They had their own. Yeah. So sorry, we're boring people who are not from Louisiana. So.
Yeah. which means everybody.
Lobby, I meant to ask you. I've probably asked you before. Did you ever watch the Tripods?
I never got to see all that, but I know it was you talking about the BBC series.
Yeah,
I always wanted to see that, but no.
What was that one about?
Science fiction series.
Alien invasion thing. So it's kind of similar in some ways to War of the Worlds, although the tripods themselves didn't go around killing everything. They just kind of took over.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Took over parts of southern England. Theoretically, the whole world, but that's all you ever saw.
Southern England. Yeah.
And there was obviously a resistance against them. So, and it was slightly more aimed at kids, I think. But they were battling against them. There was a resistance. There was a lot of good low budget shows like that. The Tomorrow People, which was an ITV show, of course, not BBC. That one, so it had a £5 a week more budget than the BBC shows.
Yes.
But that was a great show.
Used to show that in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah, I loved the Tomorrow People. That was a great show. And then it kind of went downhill after the third or fourth season. And
then did a remake later.
Yeah, the whole cast kind of changed, and you didn't see the originals anymore. But Tripods was neat.
So British.
That looks pretty cool. Yeah.
It's
so
these are
cool. These are the aliens, or these are
well, that's for machines.
Their machine, right? Kind of like the War of the Worlds.
So very War of the Worlds, as I'm saying, but I mean, they didn't really destroy everything. They just wanted to take over and dominate. So it wasn't like War of the Worlds where they tried to wipe out every human.
And these are the aliens, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. I mean, for the budget, they did the best they could with the budget they had.
Doesn't look bad, actually, I guess.
But yeah, Tomorrow People was a great one as well.
Yeah.
Survivors was quite a good science fiction show, but post-apocalyptic thing. Yeah.
Terry Nation, right?
Yeah, it's again Terry Nation, but they also though again the cast kind of completely changed between seasons, and that kind of lost a lot of continuity. Then that's the later.
That's the remake.
That's the later one.
That's two of them.
Original one.
Two remakes.
You got to look for the 70s one.
That's the 70s one right there.
Yeah. Right there, yeah.
I wasn't sure how I knew that was the 70s one, but
not by the haircut.
I figured it out.
With the hair and the clothing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What do you mean the clothing? I still dress like that.
Oh, well.
I still have my members only jacket.
I've still got the same T-shirts I had then.
I'm the last.
Literally.
Yeah.
Right.
That was something there. I remember that. Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, I did like the Tomorrow People, the original, not the remake.
Yeah.
Didn't I think CW tried it too?
Yeah.
And what was the premise of it? Was they time travelers? Or?
No, there were like these. Go ahead. You know,
it's kids with the mental powers.
Okay.
So almost like X-Men in a sense. I mean, they were born.
They had teleport belts and something.
Yeah, they could, and then there was technology. I can't remember where the technology came from, whether they created it or somebody was watching over them, and I can't remember who it was. And there was things like teleporting going on. Yeah.
Yeah, they had belts.
Yeah, but mainly it was mental powers focused.
Mental powers. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't realize it started way back in '73. My God.
By the time we got it, it was old, I guess, because it was on.
Yeah, I watched it.
Well, Nickelodeon used to have so many good shows.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah. I watched it at the time, in '73. I watched it live. But another one I mentioned earlier is a show that nobody seems to know about anymore, or what I've seen is The Champions. I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, that wasn't a science fiction show though.
It was kind of science fiction. They had the crash. 3 agents crashed in the mountains, and they came out with superpowers, kind of like unusual supernatural powers. And they used
good night, Das Wolfen. Just want to say,
Good night,
it
Stefan.
says good night,
Good night,
congrats.
John.
Yep, much appreciated. Yep.
all these old British shows, which you never hear of now. Really.
Well, I wonder how many of these are on BritBox. I'm sure not all of them are, but some of them may be there.
Some are, but I don't think this is.
Yeah, it's not the expense. A lot of times when I look for a TV show, I'm like, why is it not? I mean, you'd think they just put their whole darn catalog on there, right? I mean, it's not like people are gonna. I mean, I love buying, physical media. I guess Retro Nerd Girl, are you a physical media person? I'm guessing yes, or yes and no. Or...
I used to be more of a physical media person, but having to move like ages ago, I kind of got detached from it, and now I'm kind of like, I do have my pieces, my sentimental pieces, and I may collect a few other things, but I'm not so much anymore. But I'm starting to realize that digital is definitely not always the best way to go. Because a lot of these streamers, they will, you'll pay for a movie and they will, it can disappear on you. Yep. And so you've just wasted, $30-$40 or on something that you could have had a physical piece of material.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, because some movies, I was trying to remember the movie, but yeah, the studio rights changed, and then people were, lost the rights to view the movie that they'd purchased. I don't know if they were able to if they actually gave them refunds or not. Or the other thing is look at Splash, what they did on D+. They covered Daryl Hannah's butt with hair, so she's a hairy butt in Splash because they didn't want to show.
So terrible.
Yeah. So I mean,
vandalism.
They could change things and alter the movie or take scenes out down the road. And I love the convenience of streaming. And I used to buy so many DVDs too. Oh, hey, look who's here! It's a Power Ranger. Hey, Pat S.
So Hungary's mentioning Quatermass, the TV series from the 70s with John Mills. That was a great one. That was a good BBC production.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jen. And lady, and everybody. I probably sound terrible. I'm on my cell phone, but I thought I'd have to at least stop in and say congratulations on 500, brother.
Thank you for
it's
being
about
here.
Time. It should be $5,000, dude. You do good work, man.
It's a lot of fun.
Just your Christmas ornaments alone should have put you over the top at this point. That's the way I feel.
And my wife wants me to take down the tree this week. I don't know. I mean, come on. I like leaving it up for as long as possible because you get to enjoy it with all the Star Trek.
But when there's no needles left and it's all just rotting, and
we have a plastic tree, just a fake tree, just for that.
Even still,
even that can decay.
Actually, I just took down my real tree yesterday.
Yeah,
because I can't do it when Maddy's here.
Well, that's a long time to have a real tree. Wow, that sucker lived a long time.
It was the first. I have a 2-year-old, so like when I would carry her up the steps at night and the room is dark except for the lit tree, she said, "I love you, Christmas tree." So I kind of had to leave it.
Very cute, very cute. Yeah.
So,
or if it was a Charlie Brown tree, that's what you have, Clobbering Times, right? You have
the Charlie Brown tree.
I've got it too. I've got a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Yeah,
special. Or Blackadder called it my special Christmas twig.
Before I forget, I just watched a video by Critical Drinker, about physical media versus and he was saying that they're starting to edit stuff they don't like or stuff that's no longer acceptable, politically correct or whatever, out of the streaming stuff. So if you want, it's like the whole Hans shot first thing all over again.
Drinker's a cool, stuff out, great video maker. I love Critical.
Yeah, I was telling everyone. Actually, I was telling someone today. I used to buy so many DVDs, and DVDs are so popular. They actually had a DVD opener that you could buy. I still have a few of them. There's like a plastic opener with like a razor on one side, safety razor. Open up your DVDs. I mean, that's how many. I used to buy bunch of movies each week, or you'd find them online, or go to going to the stores was fun, or to go to the bargain bins. And now really what I do, I just buy, as much as I love having the physical media, well, I've got multiple versions of lots of movies, but if it comes out in 4K, since I've become a 4K snob, and it's it's in my top 100 list, then that's kind of my excuse, or this. Okay, I can buy Jaws now in 4K, or any of the Star Trek movies in the motion picture. It's got to be one of those movies that really has to be up there for me
Mark,
to to rebuy it.
Could you indulge me, Mark? Talking of DVDs, I have a little joke to share with you.
Awesome.
I'm sharing the screen. So see if you have to be of a certain age to get this. You have to be a certain age and certain technology to get this joke.
Oh God.
Awesome.
Man, that's pretty funny.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Retro, you get this? Are you old enough to get this?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm not.
So if you leave a DVD player on long enough and walk away from it, eventually a screen would come up like a screensaver, and it would have the DVD logo bouncing around in it like that. So he's imitating it. And that's Gritty, who's the Philadelphia Flyers.
That was smart.
Yeah. I see. I never got to that point, I guess, with my DVDs, because I do play them and just pop them out. So that never happened to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's old school. Yeah,
there's old school screensaver. That one right there. Yeah.
Well, I used to have a TiVo. I had the TiVo player, which I love, and the best interface. TiVo.
Oh my God! I forgot. You can get your TiVo.
And I had the model that had a DVD burner in it, so you could actually record your shows and burn it to DVD. Of course, it was still SD. It wasn't HD, but I still have a ton of those. So I could make kid show, stuff for the kids or any movies. And God, it was wild. And only I think they shut it down as soon as they could. Once that license they could renew. But TiVo had a fantastic interface. It was so friendly, and then you could. Now, of course, today it's you can get do a lot of the same things with like YouTube TV or any of these streaming services, but you could just set it to record all your shows. It was and it would download the imagine this, it would download the schedule from the internet, and so you'd never miss a show if the time changed.
That was handy,
sports.
Yeah.
Oh, the TiVo was great. I don't know is TiVo still in business or
I don't know. I had a similar
best software.
They were bought by MapQuest.
Yeah,
that's a joke.
I guess they're still selling it.
If you look up your Netscape page,
I was going to say you can only use Netscape to get to it. Use your America Online account.
Yeah,
get the CD out and get it off that.
Yeah. Hey, I still have some CDs.
But yeah, I had
lots of CDs.
Similar
I have
box
a lot
years
of
ago.
them.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so here was the TiVo, and then we're gonna wrap up after I share the golden memory of the TiVo. It's been a great show tonight, a lot of fun. So yeah, here was I guess that must be a digital TiVo. I'm wondering if they had the original TiVo with let's see if I do with DVD recorder. I still have it in the basement.
Oh yeah, see, I had one of those. It wasn't branded TiVo in the UK, but I had one.
I think this is the one. This is the one I had.
I had the Toshiba one.
Does Toshiba still exist?
It does.
Yep, Toshiba still exists. Yep.
Wow.
I had the Toshiba. It was quite a good machine.
Yeah, so you had the all the features of TiVo, plus the DVD recorder, which is wild. Yeah. So that was a great piece of hardware to have. Yeah, and that's the one. I think I had the Toshiba one. I think and of course I saved it. You never throw out your old electronics, right? So
I wish I'd kept mine. Yeah.
So I guess they're comparing. Yeah, the two. Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious, an 80 gigabyte hard drive. But wait a minute, we can go up to 120 gigabyte hard drive. 120 gigabyte hard drive. Yeah, I just bought a 2 terabyte hard drive memory hard, M.2 drive from my computer, which had crashed, and it was 60. Was it $100 for 2 terabytes of RAM hard drive? High speed memory. So, yeah, you had 80 gigs. So
you could fit every episode of MASH on there, Mark.
Yeah. Yep, it's just
I remember
amazing.
when I got my first 1 terabyte external hard drive. It was roughly about this size, and I thought I'll never fill this up.
Never fill it up ever.
And now I've got like 1 terabyte thumb drives around here. I have more storage in here.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Like my color computer. Yep. So, but anyway, it's been a really great night tonight. I appreciate everyone who's been here. Wow, we got 25 people still watching. Yay. So maybe we should go do a 7-hour stream. But I'm joking about Retro Nerd Girl's first live stream. That was, I think I went to Clobberin Time's channel, streamed with him, and came back. And I'm like,
you're still going.
You're still going. You're still going. Because I thought, sometimes you think you hit the pause button and you go to another tab or something. Like, your stream is still going. So it was an epic first live stream. It was a lot of fun. You did a great job. So
thank you.
That was good. So if someone can put Retro Nerd Girl's channel, if Eric K's still out there, someone put her channel in. If not, it's below. And do you want to tell us a little bit about? We did go do kind of a deep dive on your awesome channel tonight, but if you want to tell us what you got coming up, which is a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, so my next, I guess, live stream is going to be this Friday, and oh my God, I forgot what the topic was already. But it's going to be a little chit chat. Oh, it'll be about action stars of yesteryear. And then on Saturday, and I'm going to be doing this every Saturday, I'll be doing a watch party. This week it's going to be Beastmaster.
Nice.
Last week it was the last Starfighter. So going through a lot of fun movies from the old movies that we don't really get to see anymore.
Yeah.
or just it's just to like enjoy a little bit, a few memories of some of the old movies. And I really wanted to tackle some of those old black and white movies too eventually. So I have a lot of watch parties ahead. But otherwise than that, I am also doing reviews on older movies. And I do have a review on Willow that will be coming up in the next 2-3 weeks.
The old Willow, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the 1988 version.
Yeah.
Retro, what time is your live stream?
I think my sweet spot now is 5 o'clock. So it'll be about 5 o'clock.
Pacific, Atlantic, Central, Mountain.
Oh, sure. Central.
5 Central. Okay. So
which day?
I'll be doing a talk on Friday. Yes, on Friday at 5 for action stars of yesteryear, and then the watch party will be 5 p.m. On Saturday and every Saturday.
Excellent.
So that'll be the same time actually as Saturday Night Star Trek.
No, it's much earlier.
No, way earlier.
No, it's much earlier.
We can't have that now.
5 p.m.
Hey, don't worry about that.
No, it was 5 p.m. That's 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm way out here on the West Coast, so I'm trying.
Yeah, so it'd be
to do the
7.
math in my
That would
head.
be 7 p.m. 7 p.m. California
I went to
time,
art
right?
school specifically so I wouldn't have to do math.
But if you can't be there, always watch the rewind,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, the replay is always, especially for the watch parties. I think I always rewatch the watch parties, and I have so much fun
because you could just you tell everyone to start the movie, right? You say cue up the movie, start now,
and I have a timer and everything, so that way you can keep up and just or join in anytime you want to, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's a fun way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's a new kind of thing that that people have been doing the last couple of years that I think is been kind of inclusive as far as like for people who live alone and they're like, hey, I want to watch a movie or I want to watch a movie with this person that I listen to a lot and see what they think about the movie or so it's almost like having company while you're watching one of your favorite movies. My first one was Excalibur, and that was so incredible. I
Oh,
had
that's a great movie.
so much fun with that, and the comments are just priceless. The things that people remember in the comments. Sometimes it's memories, or sometimes it's just like random facts, but it's always quite entertaining to look at the comments too.
Well, I got to tell you my Excalibur story. So, well, two quick things on Excalibur. Friend next door neighbor did that as a birthday party, and of course, his rated R was 16. Mom would not let me go, and Dad too. I guess always pick on Mom. So, of course, what happens with the how King Arthur is born. So, of course. The birthday party mom was mortified in terms of it's quite a brutal and graphic a scene, and she didn't, and then the younger daughter was there on the for the movie too. So in retrospect, I guess that's not a movie for younger kids. And the other funny story I would tell with that one of my buddies, he was in a scout troop, and one of the leaders, I guess during a rainy day. He puts Excalibur on for the scouts, and all of a sudden there was this big commotion. Of course, when that scene came on and people are yelling and they're in, I guess, the other room or whatever, because they couldn't do the outside stuff. And they're like, Bob, it became a big, huge blow up, as you can imagine. To make a long story short, they're like, Bob, what were you thinking? How could you show Excalibur to the 12-year-old scouts? What's going on? He's like, I watched it. It was fine. It was totally nothing that was in the movie. Bob, where did you see it? He happened to be a DAA agent, and so he'd always travel on airplanes. But I saw it on the airplane. Oh crap!
And then your mother said she had nice breasts, right?
Yeah. So that's my Excalibur. Excalibur's two of my fun Excalibur stories. And it is a great movie. Fantastic movie. I think so. Very well done.
Looking at the future is like looking at a cake. Until you've tasted it, what do you really know? And then, of course, it's too late. That's my favorite quote from that movie. That was Merlin.
Yep. So thank you, Retro Nerd Girl, and open invite anytime you want to swing on by. I'd love to have you join and hang out with us again. It was a pleasure to have you. I thank you for being here. A lot of fun. Yep.
It was my pleasure, and congratulations on your 500 subs. It's been really fantastic to make your acquaintance on the internet, and definitely looking forward to seeing you grow. And I love your channel. It's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a great channel, great content.
Thank you. Yep, it's I'm blushing a lot tonight, but thank you so much. And Larry, no, we are not showing Life Force to the scouts on the next show.
Oh, do it! One of my favorite movies.
No,
do it.
I love that movie.
Yeah, but that ain't going unless I want to give up my time as being a scout leader. But that being not going out that way.
You have to learn sometime, Mark.
Yeah, well, not from me. But I do bring I have a portable soda can projector. So of course I'm the only scoutmaster that we were playing Star Wars, or there's usually a theme for like summer camp week. So last year was Christmas holiday themed. So I had all my Rankin Bass movies and we're projecting him on the campsite with my portable projector and speaker. So yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And then what? Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Yep. So good stuff. So a lot of fun. But all right, well, let's go around the horn here. So that's 70s. What do you have coming up on your awesome, most excellent channel? You got a good show Monday usually, right?
Well,
so
I'm not doing a show tomorrow. I got some personal stuff to do, and I'm giving myself a bit of a break. So 1 week, skipping tomorrow. Although I will be on Sparking News podcast tomorrow. We're supposedly doing a Beatles stream, so I haven't seen the time that's supposed to start at yet. But I'm supposedly
hopefully no one on the chat will say that the Beatles are underrated, because I'm getting sick of those.
Yeah, well,
I wish there were more underrated bands like the Beatles.
I made a joke about that with Razor Fist when he was on my stream last week, so because he's leader of the anti-Beatles league on Twitter.
Oh no!
Hey, I just want to give you props for having a shirt with a Waylon Jennings. It's Waylon Jennings, right?
It's Looking Back, Texas.
Let's
yeah,
go
I actually
to
got it
Looking Back, Texas.
I actually got it in Looking Back. At the
Sorry about my
actual
singing,
Looking
everybody.
Back. But yeah, thanks for noticing. Great song, love that with
Great,
Willie and
yeah,
Waylon and
great
the boys.
Yeah.
So no show tomorrow, but I should be on Sparking Tuesday. Mark, we're doing Wayne's World on.
Oh yeah,
Tuesday?
yeah, it's Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Tuesday. But I will get back to my own shows. I mean, I do Bourbon Boarding every Saturday night hockey show, 10 p.m. Me and Brahma Bull.
I'm getting Beatles are overrated stuff in my chat. I might have to ban people now.
No, that's to be bannable offense.
Speaking of Brahma, though, on Monday, not this Monday tomorrow, but next Monday, my show will be back. It's Only Talking Roll, and Brahma will be my special guest, and we're going to do the grunge era. It's going to be all flannel for the entire show. We're going to be dressed in flannel and doing grunge in the early 90s eras. But looking forward to the rest of the month, the Monday after, I think we're going to do, I feel like doing Flash Gordon, 1980 Flash Gordon.
Nice.
Yay.
Flash.
And then on the 27th of February, I'm planning a big birthday bash because it will be my 60th birthday on that day. So I'm going to have a big birthday stream on that Monday, I think, which you're all welcome to,
Awesome.
obviously. And maybe I'll have hit 1,000 subs by then. Who knows? We're getting close. So
You'll be there. You'll get there. Yep.
But anyway, other than that, working on videos and popping up here and there as usual. And thanks for having me on, mate, and many congratulations to you.
Thank you for being here.
Cheers.
Much appreciated. Yep. Cheers. Yep. So this Beatles talk, I don't know. Come on, guys. Come on, seriously. Overrated? You don't like the Beatles. You could say that, but overrated. I mean,
not overrated.
The Beatles, not the Who.
Not the Who.
The Beatles.
Well, Stuart's right though. Jennifer Lawrence did found the Beatles.
She did write.
Now there's a show for you. All the female action stars before Jennifer Lawrence. Including like the Bionic Woman and Isis.
Well, that would take about 24 hours to do that show because there were so many of them, and she's never heard of any of them. So apparently.
And I just I got the Let It Be album, the deluxe edition with the Blu-ray, uncompressed audio with the. Hey, Captain Finity, thank you so much.
Captain.
Hey, buddy.
With the Atmos mix, now 70s into your music, have you listened to any of those Beatles Atmos mixes on surround sound system? Or
I don't have the equipment for that right now, as the actress said to the bishop.
Okay, but anyway, so there was no one home today for a couple hours this afternoon. So I put the stereo on 11 and was cranking Let It Be. I mean, it's just glory, the uncompressed, we're making the show go longer, but the uncompressed audio on Blu-ray is it's just glorious. I mean, just like the band is there in the room with you. It's just amazing. So just awesome. But okay, let's go to before I'm gonna start talking about the Beatles for the next hour and uncompressed audio. Let's to my great buddy Clobber Times. Do you have any Zany Haney coming up soon, or what's
that will be next week, a week from tomorrow night with the J Bennett. Tomorrow night will be the Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk launching Superman month for February because it's Superman's birthday month. His birthday's the 29th, even though I know there's not going to be a 29th. Hail Cardinal Sam, what's up, buddy? What's up, Gil?
Hey, Cardinal Sam, hail. Like we're swinging by, yep.
I'll be launching Superman month tomorrow night on the comics show, and then a week from tomorrow night though, J-Man and I will have a special Bob Haney review, of course, Earth B, and it will have something to do with Superman. Anyway, Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm over there hanging with Tom on the Midnight Edge Boys at 6 p.m. Central, sitting with that august panel and the great Tom Connors. Wednesday night, Loki's Comic Roundtable at 7, and then my show at 9 Central. I'm going to be talking about another Superman themed show this Wildcard Wednesday night. It'll be about who are the best Superman stand-ins, the Superman knockoff characters, like Supreme and Samaritan. And then Thursday night, after I'm on with Tom earlier than that, of course, you and me and the wonderful Raquel for the Comic Book Roundtable. Then Friday night, Dadman's show. I'll be on there with Dadman on his channel, talking Super Bowl, the upcoming looming Super Bowl, doing some predictions on that, and then then our boy Nick's channel, a couple hours later, 8:30 Central, talking with the Comic Shop boys, reviewing Infinity Gauntlet #6. And then Saturday night Star Trek. We're starting Deep Space Nine Season 5, 4 episodes with my wonderful First Officer Raquel. And then back here a week from tonight. And that's in other words, every night streaming somewhere, sometimes twice.
You can find Clobby every night. Yeah, so, right, pretty much, yep.
Yeah, buddy.
It's Clobbering Times somewhere on YouTube.
It's always Clobbering Times. Thank you.
And thank you for being here, Pat S. I know you don't have a channel, but you do help a lot of great channels out there. And I guess
I do. When you're this late, you don't get to plug though. Everybody knows Brandon. He's a great guy. Go check him out. And of course, our buddy 24, a very, very, very promised. Under a minute, quick anecdote. I have to say, you and Retro reminded me, Mark, that when I was a young lad, Mom and Dad and I were watching Clash of the Titans, and when the bathing scene came on, which I very much enjoyed, almost as much as like the stop motion, my mother turned to my father and said, "I thought you said this movie was PG," and my dad's like, "It is PG, Joan." And he was all upset, and she was upset because I actually saw a woman's boobies. And then after the movie was over, she got up to like go finish dinner or do something, maybe take care of my baby brother or something. And my dad looks at me and he goes, "For God's sakes, never let your mother see Swamp Thing. Go put that VCH tape here." And in case you're wondering what that means, I'll just leave it at this. And Claude, back me up.
Oh no,
any man who had a pulse in the 70s.
Adrian Barbeau.
Adrian Barbeau.
Knows exactly what my father meant. So, go put.
I'd like to bump into her in the fog. That's right.
But my only plug is if you're here now watching.
Sorry, Retro.
Oh, that's fine. I was the first one laughing. So
knuckle dragging.
That's true. I did. But if you're one of the people watching today and you really like Mark, tweet it out to just a couple of friends. Let them know who Mark is, because I think I speak for everybody on the panel and everybody who's ever watched this show. We all want to live to see Mark get monetized. Can you imagine if Mark gets monetized? He could go to Mrs. D and go, "Honey, but I have to buy this now because I have a channel and I have members."
It's a tax write-off, honestly.
The toys Mark will be able to write off if he makes
a little
bit of money from this channel. We have to see that happen.
We don't want to make
spread it out to your
profits.
friends. Get 2 people to subscribe. Come watch us one night.
And they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and so on.
That's right.
Anybody remember that commercial?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Pat. It's very
no
nice.
problem, my friend. Congratulations.
And I got to tell another. Oh, we don't. No. There's no such thing as being. Oh, we got to show that. Yep. Here we got. We got Thor with Thor. Very cool. Who's got bigger biceps? Yeah.
I think he definitely does, but my 2-year-old has somehow picked up who Spider-Man is because she saw this and said Spider-Man. She can't really say this.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then I said, "Well, who's this?" And she said, "Batman." And I'm like, "Wow, the kids at school must be wearing stuff." And then I said, "Who's this one?" and she said "Daddy," and I'm not going to correct her.
Yeah, there we go.
That's Thor if you can't see the poster.
Smart kid. Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here we'll show the picture of Steve as Thor. Yep.
There
we go. At
Nice.
Comic-Con. Yep.
Homemade. Oh wow! I didn't have it finished yet. I only had 2 of the 6 discs.
Oh yeah, you're missing some discs there.
Yeah. Well, I made
Yep.
this thing by hand. It cost me like $300 because I kept messing it up. Yeah, I kept
looks
screwing
good,
up.
yep.
I had to go back to the leather store again. You know.
Good job.
You're back again.
Yeah, I got to know them pretty well.
Nice.
Nice job. Yep.
Thank you.
And Pat, I'm really telling the mom stories a lot tonight. So one of my birthday parties, which was, and I've told this story before, but Clash of the Titans, like you said, and we joke I went to Catholic school. Mom wasn't that strict, but we're just it's just fun to talk about. And that was my birthday party. What was that? 81. So I think I'm 11 or 12 or 13. It was a bunch of buddies at the movie theater. And that scene comes up, and Mom, like, her arms go right out to try to cover as many eyes as possible. Then she apologized to all the other moms, and it was like exactly like you said, like it was PG, and yeah. And I'm trying to so yeah, but
dude, mom was Irish Catholic too. I mean, I have probably a dozen. It makes you think though too. A lot of those movies had boobs in them though, right? Like I distinctly remember Mom from the kitchen we had on Airplane one time, and she goes, "Oh, for goodness sakes," It's like, it's like, how could you even see that, Mom? You're in the kitchen.
Well, if you're in England or Europe, it's different standards for TV. But yeah, that was a fun.
We had Benny
Hill,
Hill,
Yeah, Benny Hill, yeah.
Spike Milligan,
Benny
had
Hill
boobs on his
today.
show every week. Spike Milligan.
Oh, crazy Benny. So what do I gotta say a few words, but yeah, this has been a real special night. I appreciate everyone being here. Congrats to MMM for winning that. I'm glad you won that 3D printed. Let me know what you'd like on that collection there, and glad to send that to you. And I hope you're doing as well as can be expected down there. I know it's tough times, but keep your spirits up, and hope you're doing well, buddy. Retro Nerd Girl, shout out to you again. Thank you for being here. It was a lot of fun getting to know you a little bit better. It's it's fun hanging out with people in the chat, but it's nice to be able to talk to people and learn their background of how they became a geek or a nerd. Or it was fun to hear about your mom and how that she passed that love of movies and classic old stuff to you. So that was great to hear. Maddy's daddy, what can I say? One of the first guys I met on YouTube here, so hopefully I'll get to see you sometime in Vegas sometime sooner rather than later, and hopefully see Maddy too at the same time. 70s has been awesome getting to know you too and stream with you, and yeah, love your shows, and you're going to beat 1,000 pretty darn quick. So and there's a reason for that, because you've got some great content and your shows are so good, and you do a great job at it. And
No, I'm blushing now.
Yeah, you blush. Yeah, I make you blush. Great personality. You're good. You're fun to hang out with, and this whole YouTube thing has been great. And Pat S, thank you. But
hang out with great guys like you, mate. It's rubbed off on me.
Thank you. Yep. And Pat S, yeah, you've been a great friend. Always here. So, sometimes when people can't be here, you always count on Pat S to be here. So thank you. Thank you so much, buddy. And yep, hope you're doing well, and onward and upward. And of course, save.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Save clobbering times for last, not least. But of course, like I said, you got me.
No, he's least.
Well, he's least, yeah.
I'm definitely least.
You're definitely least, yeah. You're a big inspiration. I'll make you blush. Bricks are gonna turn red, maybe. But I was thinking about doing YouTube, but for a while, because of course you can see all the quote unquote junk / stuff that I'd love to collect, and I thought it'd be fun maybe to show some of the stuff and talk about comics. And I don't know if anyone would actually watch or want to do that, but I was pleasantly surprised when got to start to hang out with you and know you better. And when you you know, for like, would it be great to actually meet Cloudburn Time someday? You know, he seems like such a cool guy, and Steve and everyone. So it's been, you know, just a real honor and a pleasure to actually get to know you guys really well and have you as friends. And you know, someday, hopefully soon, we'll you know, get to meet in
one of these days, bud.
One of these days. So maybe sometime soon. But you know, next Star Trek convention. Of course, the vid, you know, has been bad, but of course you know, sometimes good things come out of bad, and you know, able to, you know, meet people, maybe spending more time on YouTube, you know, kind of you know, help to spawn that, I think. So that's the one good thing I'll take out of the kind of the mess that has happened the last few years. So you know, it's great to stream with everyone here and just have fun and have a good time. And yeah, and I'm proud to get to 500. My kids, you know, always say the joke over and over. My kids are like, you have 500 something? You mean you have more than 50? You know, they're teasing their dad, but you know, it's been a lot of fun, and always appreciate anyone that subs and hangs out tonight. So it's gonna take a long time to go through this list, but I want to, let's see if I scroll back up. We won't play the long game here. Cloudburn Times, I usually do the game of who did you miss, or who wasn't here in the chat.
It takes a while.
Takes a while, but
It's
I can
fun,
see
but
who's active. It's fun. But Brian Hepburn, of course, the great Eric K. Thank you so much for being there when I had my mic off, and being there in the first comment in the chat, and always being here and hanging out, and of course doing a great job modding and zapping those bots and watching over all the comments. So much appreciated. Larry, Lisa, Rob Alta, Stephen Ransom. So those are the people in the chat right now. Let's see if I go Phantom Outsider. Of course, Hungry Boy. Let's see, Donnie Pearson, MMM. Let's see, who else am I missing? Andrew of Jill stopped by. Oh, Tom from Midnight's Edge stopped by.
Yeah.
And of course, Courtney swung by earlier and popped in for a minute.
And of course, the wonderful Raquel.
Raquel, of course, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't talk about Raquel. What a, you know, shin kicks for myself. But yeah, huge shout out to Raquel. It's she's become a great friend
buddy.
too.
Just go for it.
You got my back. Yeah. Thank you, Das Wolf and Gap After Dark. I'm trying to remember who was in this chat here, but
Larry
Matthew Pounder, Stuart Mitchell, Larry. Yep. Tiger Stripes. I'm pretty sure I said Lisa, Donnie Pearson. But we've had a great turnout tonight. We still have a great turnout. Gap After Dark. Let's see.
Did you mention Rob Altus?
Rod Thunderheart, Rob Altus, JT Kirk,
Lisa.
Tiger Stripes.
Yeah. We got Lisa.
Fun to do this shit. And Dadman was here.
And Mrs.
Dadman.
And Mrs. Dadman, right?
Yep.
So
you got Lisa?
I got Lisa. Yep.
Okay.
Lisa. Yep.
You know, I know you mentioned him, but JT, you know, Eric K has just been so good to all of us, man. It's always great to have him here.
Eric K zaps those bots like with the speed of
lightning.
Speed of lightning.
It's a little bit frightening.
Yep.
That's who.
Kato Simpo, who's
here. What is a little bit frightening? Oh, I don't know that. It's a little bit frightening. Ballroom Blitz? No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's Mighty
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody was. I was there.
A little bit frightening.
I don't think
everybody was kung fu fighting. Everybody.
I don't think everybody was.
Oh, let's see. There was
Polly's Minion was here.
Little Sammy Chung and Billy. No, sorry.
And you know, we can't have. Yeah, we can't have a stream end with. I should have played this for Dad, but I didn't want to pick on him too much since he was so tired tonight. But we can't. You know, this is my favorite clip to play of Dadman fervently emoting.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
Language.
Never get enough of that.
Can't get enough of that one. And then the other clip is listen to the misses on this one. So this is Dadman getting zapped.
It's up to you, Dadman.
I just run, dude.
Where'd they go?
Right there.
Oh, screw you. I'm going to report that friggin' mother humper.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was.
Where are they? Right there as he gets wiped out. Yep. And thank you, JT Kirk. Yep, he says, "Well done, 500 quattros to you, sir. Well done. So much appreciated." Yep. So if I missed anyone, I hate to miss anyone, but you know, so we love having everyone hang out with us, in our living room, quote unquote. And it's been a special night, and yeah, maybe the numbers. Sometimes people, like I said in the beginning, pay too much attention to the numbers, but it is kind of fun. We're human. It's fun to have that. When you see that, people are watching what you're doing. That's makes you feel good. You can't deny that. So I'm glad that everyone. Oh, and Cardinal Sin, hail the Cardinal Sin. Yep. So don't want to forget that. Check out Cardinal Sin's awesome channel. So,
Mark, I didn't get to say congratulations, and I don't want you to watch this again and say, "Why didn't that jerk?"
Oh yeah, why didn't I call on? No,
I wouldn't call.
Did
on
I call on
either, so
yeah. No, you don't have a channel, but I should give you a chance to have the floor for a second. Yep.
Thinking of floor jokes, but no, I just want to say congratulations. Also, I think I was your first subscriber. There were 0 when I was there, and if I am, it's an honor, and if I'm not, it's still an honor. You are a great guy, and I'm proud that you invite me to be on your channel, even though I don't have one. And I would also like to say to Retro, it was very nice virtually meeting you. Tomorrow, while I'm at work, I'm going to listen to. I have something to listen to. I'm going to just listen to your shows one after the other. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's my pleasure to meet you as well.
Well, thank you. And
Eltherod Thunderheart.
That's all I have to say about that.
All right. Well, I think that's a perfect line to end the evening on, right? So that's pretty good. It's been an awesome night. So everyone have a great week. Sub to all my buddies here on this panel, and if they don't have a channel, sub to their channel. But we're gonna do the classic Blues Brothers getting us out of here. So have a great week, everyone, and much appreciated. And thanks for all the kind comments. And we'll catch you all next Sunday night, hopefully. So geek on, everyone. Take care.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.